Come on.
Lifting up the-
Come on.
Good, it's good.
Okay.
Probably like made in China. Come on. Oh, that's a cancellation from the Asian community right there.
Do you think like fuck that?
The what?
Already too bad.
What do you think about? Do you think Asians are like?
What are you gonna say?
All right, let's get into anti-Semitism, guys.
Woo!
Okay,
Anti what?
anti-Semitism.
What's that?
It's like Hitler and Kanye,
Why the fuck?
both in the same sentence.
It's hate against the Jewish people.
Oh.
You know. No, I'm not kidding. The last podcast, he asked what the Holocaust was.
Are you serious? I mean, no, but maybe he just didn't know the word.
It's in Italian. I gave him the
He
benefit
just doesn't know
of
the
doubt.
word. I'm sure he knows what it is.
He was like, "What is that?" Kieran was like,
no,
"You don't know what that-"
I understand that. There's a language barrier.
"No, but do you know what it is in Italian?"
To be honest,
It-
I only found out what the word really means like in my teenage years.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, me too. I was probably like
Like I doubt you were like fucking
13,
10 and like
14, nah.
Holocaust.
Nah, I knew about Hitler. Everyone knew
Yeah,
about Hitler
I
and like
hope so.
whatever. But I didn't even know that they were. I didn't even know what a Jew was. Have you met a Jew in Malta? I've never met a Jewish person in Malta. No one Jewish. I've met people that come from like Jewish family, but then no one's Jewish. Shout out to him, bro.
Nah, I'm
It's
not
just
sure.
'cause he has,
I'm
like,
sure-
a
I'm sure
big
I
nose
have.
and looks
I'm
like-
sure I have met.
No, but like someone that you know is Jewish.
Honestly, like I know there is, but I can't like
Yeah, right.
I can't get
Yeah.
I get.
I don't know anyone. I've never met like properly and talked about it. At least maybe they were like, there was a kid in my class, and I grew up with him, and he used to go to primary, and then he joined our class. I think he's Jehovah's Witness.
I know someone who knows
What?
someone who's Jehovah.
Levi.
He's Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Oh, we cut this part out.
No, we're leaving this.
You witnessed Jehovah, whatever the fuck.
Who's Jehovah and why is he a witness?
Did he commit rape? Like, what's going
No,
on?
Jehovah's Witness is when you think like the world's gonna end. No, not exactly.
No, that's stretching it out.
Yes.
It's a
No,
bit more
but
but you know, like the people who knock on your door to try
Yeah.
to convert you into their religion. Does that ever happen? I'm sure it's happened to you at some point.
I pretend I'm deaf.
No, but it happens, right? You know, people sometimes knock on your door and they try to like they want to talk about the Lord and Savior. Those are
mostly happen in Ireland. and
those are
America.
Jehovah's Witnesses. They're usually on
Usually.
like a mission to like try to get as many
Yeah.
people into their religion as
Yes,
possible.
because but it's because that they think that like there's gonna be an apocalypse.
Yeah,
Not the
exactly.
world's gonna end, but they think there's gonna be like an apocalypse
And-
where the God comes
And
and
it's
saves
only
all.
people who are like
Jehovah's Witness,
are
or
gonna-
have faith
or have
and
faith are
stuff.
gonna get by.
Like zombies.
Kinda. I don't know too much about it honestly. Michael Jackson used to be a Jehovah's Witness. He grew up as a
That
Jehovah's
term
Witness.
sounds so retarded. I'm sorry to anyone who's
I
that.
don't know. I don't know why. Who's Jehovah?
I
I
don't
don't know.
wanna
I think
hate-
Jehovah's
I don't hate
the
on
God though, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I don't know
It's
the wrong person to ask
I,
about.
Mind you, if this is just some
I-
random.
Speaking to the mic.
I don't want to say too much about it because I don't know much. So it's like
Do you want me- Bomba clap.
Okay. Sorry,
All right,
yeah,
now that that's out of our system.
That was
It's all like level low, and then my head it's just down. here.
okay, guys. So, hello, guys. Welcome back to the Head to Head podcast. Hashtag the #1 podcast in Malta, or soon to be. My name is Simone. I'm joined here by my co-host Zach,
Yo, what's up, Zach Kauki? I
and
don't know why I said my full name.
and today we have a really cool host, someone that I've personally looked up to as a really close friend and as a really good example of what a man should be, and someone that can stand by his opinion a lot. His name is Nico, and he can do his own introduction.
that is very nice of you. Hello, I'm happy to be on here. So
We're honored to have you.
that was like take 4, I think.
Yes.
It's the same recording. You guys aren't allowed to hear what we said
No.
before
No,
because
we don't
those
go
will
there.
go
We
in
don't
the
go there.
bloopers.
One day we'll have a head-to-head plus where people pay. And
We're gonna
they
have a
can hear
streaming
everything.
service.
Right? Yeah. So introduce yourself. Where you from? What's your background? Age?
Well, I'm from Georgia. I'm 20 years old. I've been in Gozo for 13 years now. And yeah, I mean, what else do you want me to say?
I don't know. I think that's good enough as an introduction to me.
Thank you.
So
So I'm gonna get into.
Let's get right into it. Why do you hate Andrew Tate?
Why
No,
do I
no,
hate
no,
it?
no. Okay, let's get into cigars. Cigars first. Okay.
Cigars?
So
But
this is what I
don't know a whole bunch about.
So I'm gonna tell you. I'm not saying like you don't know
You're
shit.
gonna- yeah.
I don't know. I'm
So-
gonna tell you.
So this one's like a Cuban. It might not be. It might be like they call it Cuban. It's not actually a Cuban, but it smells pretty good. So the thing is, they think people say that like it's worse than smoking because there's more in it. Like this obviously has more than a cigarette, and even and it just has more. What's it called? What's in a cigarette? No, but the
Nicotine. Nicotine.
Yeah, because technically it has more tobacco and more nicotine, so that's why it's technically worse if you inhale, but no one you're not meant.
You're
to
not supposed to inhale
cigars.
smoke from cigars. I know that much.
And if you do by like barely anything, you know what I want to know? Like some people know how to like do it and then out of their nose.
Yeah, I mean you can do that.
But
with smoke.
I swear it's like I don't know. I don't know.
You
I
can
think
do
it's
that
different with vape and cigarettes.
I mean, you can take smoke in and let it out. You don't have to.
Through
It
your
doesn't have to
nose,
go.
though? I
through-
can't do that at all.
There's like
We'll see
it's
today.
connected. Like it doesn't have to go through the lungs. This.
No,
this
no,
is
I know,
connected.
but I don't know if it's like my mind doesn't connect to it well at all. I can't do that. Can you?
I've never tried with a cigar.
Or like
I've never
do it
thought
for
of it.
or like
I'm
ghosting when you go outside and then you inhale with your nose and it goes like shh.
French kiss.
French and hair.
French.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I think they call it.
Stop.
Oh no,
Fuck that, just
ghosting. Ghosting is the other one, right? It's where you go and then take it back in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right. Let's talk about that then. Your fighting experience, since you just brought that up. Or were
quite
you
cool.
asking a question specifically?
that is exactly. I wanted to.
Like when was your first fight? Proper or just
I used to fight a lot as a teenager. As a kid.
Really?
I was a very angry
like
kid.
middle school?
Yeah, I used to fight a lot. I had a lot of anger inside me, and
Really?
I never like went out and like just randomly hit people, but I would.
Look
I
for
don't-
it in a way.
Yeah, I would hope for it.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
would
And-
hope
and
for
it
someone
would-
to like insult you, so then you get
Yeah,
the
it would
chance
take
to-
yeah exactly. It would take very little for me to like kind of flip that switch.
Yeah.
And especially like when I moved here, there weren't that many foreigners, especially like in my school.
Yeah,
There
back
weren't that
then,
many,
yeah.
and we did get a different kind of treatment.
You
And
did.
the thing,
I remember.
the
back
thing
then.
with a lot of locals at the time. I don't know how growing up in school is now. People they talk a bunch of they talk a lot of shit. You know.
behind your back. Yeah.
No. Even to your face. You know, like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. But then like they don't.
Wait, when did you move here?
2009,
How old were you?
7.
Bro, I was 3.
So it's like they talk a lot.
No, but I remember back.
But
back when I
they
was
normally
younger, it was like
they
that.
wouldn't expect things to escalate, and I would get really angry, and I would like get aggressive with them, and then it always like there was a shock involved from their side because they're like, oh fuck, like it wasn't meant to go this far. I'm not saying I won every fight that I got into growing up, no way, but like there was that thing where they would rally you up, but then whenever like you would get physical with them, it was just like, hey man, what the fuck?
That's I've never had like a proper fight, but every experience I've had was always been like that, where I thought I was legit gonna like swing for this person. It just always like they back off, they de-escalate immediately.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't expect you to actually.
Yeah, they talk a lot of shit, and then when it comes to it, they're like fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
fuck, and then they get out of it.
You know, that kind of fucking annoys me when they did that.
Yeah,
It,
I
it
mean,
annoys me
I know,
because
it's
you're
frustrating.
like, bro, just say one more word. One more word.
I
and
got
they
in.
go like,
I used to get into trouble like at school and stuff because people would piss me off, and then I'm not saying it was right for me. I'm not
yeah,
justifying,
just saying
like,
what happened. Yeah,
but like I would like be minding my own business, and then someone would piss me off, and then let's say I would start a fight with them, I would end up getting in trouble. Looking back, I should not have like started a fight,
Yeah,
but
no.
at the same time, it's like they're pushing your buttons,
Yeah.
you know.
that gets
like,
unseen because
If you're
the minute
asking
it goes
for
to
if you're
physical-
asking for a reaction, you need to like kind of
expect a reaction.
yeah, exactly.
But do you think that like would you take any of your fights back, like in the sense of like I don't know this way. Like for the experience you got now, like that you know what you're doing technically, not really, but hypothetically in a street fight you kind of know 1% of what you're doing. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, and I would. I don't think I should have fought as much as I did as a kid. It's not fair because especially as teenagers, people. It's normal to. I used to talk shit to people. Everyone talks shit, you know. So if everyone got pissed off and started attacking you as soon as you said
fights
something,
constantly.
you know, literally, if everyone got ticked
witness.
off straight away, started a physical fight, and every time someone insulted them, like it would just be a bloodbath, you know. So no, I don't agree with how I was. No, so
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked about this, and like, cause someone has always mentioned like certain buttons for him to be pushed to get into a fight.
He has my same, and the thing is with him, he has exactly my same like values.
I have the same also, but a bit more probably.
Like
Which
the
is
fact
mentioned.
of we agreed on all of these. Spitting my face.
I wouldn't instantly start a fight. Like again, like I don't. No, because it's like.
I'm blind. I'd get blind. Like Blaze says, he'd see black. I'd see black.
No, see, I used to, but I don't anymore. Like
I could tell that you're. Sorry to interrupt you, but like I could tell you're someone who has had that past, and because I feel like no one, like you're a very calm person to me.
I'm a bit too calm sometimes. I think I don't know. I am a pretty calm.
No,
person.
I think it's a good thing. I think you're exactly what, I don't know if you know the writer or that you heard the quote, it's pretty popular now, of what Jordan Peterson said,
Yeah, I
where
know
he
who Jordan
says,
Peterson is.
become dangerous and learn how to control it. I think you're someone who's very much like that in a lot of ways, because I see that the people that are the calmest are the ones that are capable of the most violence, danger, protecting themselves, whatever you want to call it, you know? Like the people who don't talk about spending money are like the richest. The people like, to me, and I see that in you. Like someone who always buys designer and tries to show off and whatever, you could tell that either they don't have money or they're trying to show that they have money.
Or show that something they don't actually have sometimes as well, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I actually don't like fights. I hate, especially if it's pointless. I hate fights. I enjoy the physical. I enjoy the experience, you know.
It's good for you in a way.
But like morally, I think
No.
it should be like last resort, like because it is so unnecessary. Especially like, it was one thing as a kid, as a teenager, you know how I used to fight. But like growing up now, we can seriously hurt each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Brain
and it really doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. So like,
Bro, even
especially
something as
how
simple as,
you
like,
were saying about like when you just see red and you kind of black out,
it's a-
that is very, very dangerous.
I've never done that.
that's something I've never
Because
had.
you don't think clearly, and you know, aside from hurting someone else, you could also get yourself into some problems, you know. Like let's say the other person doesn't matter to you, you know, you could also get yourself into some serious issues.
Yeah.
But that used to happen to me a lot. But like the last time it happened was that time when
I know a few times that actually happened with you. But if you remember, this is really specific because I remember how much you like turned. You didn't get pissed, but you got really annoyed.
yeah,
We were talking about cars, me, you, another person, and then there was this guy, and some girl passed by and went up the stairs, and he said something, and
Yeah.
you were like, "What the fuck?" And I could legit see.
I don't like that kind of
Annoyed.
disrespect, especially when it's a normal. Everyone knows this issue that a lot of girls have nowadays. People like that saying things like that, you know, it's just, I don't think there's any way to justify it in the right
Okay.
way, and I don't like being around that. I don't like it happening, and if I'm around that, especially, I'm gonna fucking say something.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that part to a lot of degrees. But do you also to like I agree to get back into the fighting, because one point I want to say is I talked about this a lot to Simone. I have an insecurity that I haven't gotten into a fight, and I know that that's wrong in a lot of ways because it's better to like not have gotten into a fight. But I also think like especially the past few years, I just think it's becoming part of a man. Whether even getting your ass kicked or not, it's not like I want to fight someone. But I think you need to learn. You need to know how to protect yourself physically.
Okay, firstly, I don't think that has anything to do with being a man. I think everyone.
Okay, no. In life, in
I think
general.
everyone should be able to protect
Yes,
themselves.
no. Protect yourself, and getting into a fight is like different.
No, because sometimes you get into a fight to protect yourself.
That's my point. But that's my
Like
point.
even like to that going back to that story about me, I honestly would not have done anything if I wasn't threatened and
Yeah.
things were said. Then
Like if
threats
I
were
ever,
made, you know, and I didn't want to.
yeah, like if I ever have a daughter or whatever, first thing I'm doing, or not first thing I'm doing, but when they're at a certain age, I'm like martial arts for sure. Like I want, if I ever have a daughter or whatever, I want them to know how to protect themselves. But I wouldn't want like it's like the thing where it's like everyone should learn how to protect themselves, right?
Sure.
But I feel like if a woman or certain people like experience a fight, it's not that good. But like if a man experiences a fight, if he's a good man, he'll come out of that better, even if he loses.
I don't understand what difference it makes if it's a man or a woman.
Okay, don't forget the differences. But me personally, Just
Okay.
me personally.
But-
'Cause everyone's
But
different.
if, like you said, you feel insecure about not being in a fight because of that,
No,
I would completely ditch that insecurity. Like
it's not a
no,
constant
no,
insecurity.
I know,
but I think about it
what I'm saying
sometimes.
is just like do some training, get into a fighting sport, learn how to fight. So when if it does come down to it,
Bro, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I just think I'll freeze.
I just want to get punched
freeze
in
while
the
training.
face.
Freeze while training.
No,
No. I'll train. I'll do whatever. The minute it actually happens, boom.
No, but that's
flight.
but that's the
fight
whole
or
but that's
flight
the that's
type
the whole point of
situation.
training because you haven't trained your mind to be in that situation. Obviously,
You're right.
gonna
You're
be
right.
in-
Yeah.
But the whole point of training is to like be prepared for.
But
these
that's my.
situations.
I haven't witnessed like any sort of violence, even just other people. Like I feel like
That's not a bad thing.
I get it to a degree, but you should also you can't be like I don't want to be weak. That's the thing. It's not there's strength in like being whatever, but I don't want to be like incapable of doing it. Like I've even dreamt about this.
Yeah,
Like,
but,
that
but,
sounds weird.
but what I'm saying is you don't need to have gotten into a fight to
No,
not
of
feel
course
these
not.
things.
I'm
Like
not- of course not.
what I'm
But
saying is like
It-
being
that-
weak.
that's just a
simply
thought.
Work on your body.
yeah, 100%.
Like, be
I
prepared
don't
for a
want to
fight,
actually
prepare your
fight
mind for a
anyone
fight.
at the end of the day.
Get into a fighting
Yeah,
sport.
no, but even if like someone tries to kick my ass and I just dodge their hand, put them on the ground, I don't want to hurt anyone.
No,
Like
you
that's the
shouldn't- you
difference.
should. That's what I mean. You shouldn't want to.
But bro, I'm a like that's the fear. It's like what if someone goes to swing at me and I just freeze? Someone
You might,
starts
you
hitting
might-
me
you might.
and I just like that's the thing I have
It's,
because
it's
like
possible. You wouldn't. It's. I wouldn't say it will happen all the time because, like now you're thinking about it, but like in the moment, your body does
Yeah.
have natural.
Yeah,
defenses.
yeah.
Your body
Adrenaline
does.
and everything.
Your body does make you think critically.
I've had
in situations.
experiences where I've gotten like pissed off at people. The one that I think Simona was with me. Once we were playing a basketball game at school, and this fucking kid, the whole game, bro, the whole game, he's pushing me, hitting me, pushing me, like the most illegal shit, like in a game type shit. And I let go of all of it because I kept passing him, and then he pushed me, like elbow, everything, and I was fine with it. And the one thing I've always said is I'm fine with anything unless it's below the waist, like there, or above the neck. I go like punch me in the fucking like chest, punch me in the back, punch me like something to my feet. I'll be fine. I literally because I just the minute you go those areas, I just lose it. And he fucking like I don't know. I don't remember if I passed the ball or if I like went past him, and he legit like what was it? He hit me with his elbow, right?
I think so, yeah.
He hit me with his elbow on the. He did that to the back of my head, and I threw the ball on the ground, and I looked back, and I go, "Are you fucking nuts?" Like, and I was that close to swinging, and I didn't because I was like, "It's not worth it." This guy, he's so like he doesn't know. He never thought I'd turn back and do that because like the whole other times I just didn't react. Every time he shot me, I just go like, "Bro, come on." And that's all I did. But once he went that far, where he literally, it wasn't like to get the ball, it just hit me back of the head because I dribbled past him, like I went off, and I was this close to hitting him, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I-
but like.
So in situations like that, like if he swung at me, I'm not afraid of like freezing or whatever.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about situations where you're at a bar in the club and someone who. No way. Okay, well I'm gonna ignore that.
It's okay.
Uh, fix.
How the fuck did that happen?
Okay, so Simona's necklace just broke.
How? That didn't even touch it.
Just
Didn't
broke.
do anything. Fuck.
Are you mother?
All right. Anyways,
Anyway,
I'm gonna keep
going back to that. Let me tell you why. That's very
it's like
different.
when I have no reason to fight. That's my point.
No, but
He
that's
just wants to fight the mic. Just punch the shit
that's
out of the
different because your reaction to that guy was out of anger. You were getting pissed off. He
That's
was
my
pissing
point.
you off, and it was adding up slowly. And then he went too
Yeah,
far, and
too
that's
far.
it. That was anger. Good that you restrained yourself because if you did actually hit him,
I
no
wasn't
one
even-
would have
I
achieved
wasn't-
anything.
No.
Really.
I was
But-
like the closest I would have
didn't
ever done
really
is like
restrain
about to
yourself.
push him.
But that wasn't a defense mechanism. That was just anger.
Yeah.
If you got into a situation like you mentioned in the bar,
That's
where,
my point.
where someone is threatening you and like you think you're about to, your body and mind naturally has defense mechanisms
I
to
know
kind of
that,
make you think critically, adrenaline, just
But I feel like I'm so driven by my mind where it's like, that's my point. It's like, if I have a reason to, if this guy, like, hit Simone. Let's say we're at a bar, at a club, whatever. He hits Simone. I'm not gonna just like stand there. Like that's a reason for me to like even take a hit, go at least fight him, right? Or to protect myself to whatever that, right? But when it's something like I've had close to things like that where it's something like you bump into someone or like you spill someone's drink on them and they go fucking nuts and you have no reason to fight them. That's the thing. I've always said this to someone. It's like if I have no reason to fight them, if they didn't do anything wrong to me, but it's not even that. That's my point. The fear is, what about like protecting myself? Because that's the thing.
Yeah, but
does my protecting myself
I hear what
depend
you
on
mean.
my anger, my reason? That's my point.
I hear what you're
Like,
saying.
if someone swings at me and I have no reason to like not, I guess, fight them back, it's like, how will I do in that situation when it comes to protecting myself? That's the question.
I mean, you can either try to trust your body and and hope that your body will like kind of protect you, because you will react. It's not
Like,
like
in that
it's
situation,
not
I
like
feel
listen,
like-
you will not just turn into a punching bag. Like you will do
No
something,
shit,
you
no
know.
shit, yeah.
So it just depends. You evaluate the situation. It's also completely okay to just walk away or run away if you need
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know. But like, that's what I'm saying. If you get into a fighting sport, for example, if you want to learn how to protect yourself, you'll be more prepared for these situations.
So, okay, with me, I want to ask you too, is it like you said adrenaline goes through you and your body starts like doing things out of legit a pure place where you go back to like your roots of like survival, where because you're in a fight at the end of the day? Does it kind of feel like you're just like a superhero? You're just like, whoa. Like,
No.
do you realize yourself the difference in like reflexes? Like you realize your reflexes get faster. You can like actually like understand more. Maybe you're more aware, or things like that.
I mean, I don't know. I never thought too deep into it, and like
Because when you're punching someone, you don't really
but-
think. I don't think.
adrenaline does like play a big part in the way you think and
Yeah,
just
I
the way
think
you
so.
react to
I think
things
that's
going on
part of,
around
like,
you and
seeing red
and
or
what you
whatever.
can even handle. No, seeing red is different from just being pumped with adrenaline. You like
Yeah, I said it plays a part in it.
yeah, but you can handle a lot more when you're pumped with adrenaline. Even especially actually if in like, let's not talk about fighting, in situations where let's say you have a serious accident or overly stressed, one of the first symptoms of shock is adrenaline. You know, before when someone is going into shock, which is actually it can be serious. You know, it can kill someone. When one of the first symptoms of someone going into shock, which is the body's like one of the first defense mechanisms to like kind of save a person, pumps you up with adrenaline.
Yep. I've gotten it even in situations that are completely calm, and I just went.
It doesn't last
And then
long.
my
Doesn't-
leg starts like shaking for a bit. That's
it doesn't last long, but it's just the thing. Your body like a last resort type of thing. Like fuck, like this guy needs something. You know, he needs to do something.
Do you think there's any like weird, I guess, because it becomes a disease to that level, where like a person can control his adrenaline? Like a person can legit just release a bunch of adrenaline on himself.
I mean, I don't know. I know you can buy like adrenaline. No,
No, that just sounds funny.
no. It's a thing like in like people keeping like first aid kits in certain work
Yeah,
areas
yeah,
and stuff. Like you have an injection of adrenaline because it can save someone.
Yeah, yeah.
It can seriously save someone. So
But you know, like I don't know.
I don't know if people would be able to willingly release adrenaline. I think that's stretching it a bit too far.
I think that's like superhuman type of.
I don't think that's possible.
Because like imagine like I don't know. I just imagine I don't know if you watched the last Batman where he injects himself with adrenaline shot.
Yeah,
So he
but
could, like,
but
actually
but
wake
but
up
but
and,
that
like-
but that's a thing.
No.
Adre-
I know,
that's-
but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Imagine if a person could just do that on control.
Yeah, like imagining it. Yeah, but I don't think it's yeah.
No, it would be funny. But I think that I want to go to from this whole adrenaline thing. You must have took first aid, right? Because
Yeah,
you work.
yeah. I've done it a few times, but recently I had it pretty in depth. I guess
Have you ever had to go mouth to mouth?
I've never had to. I've never had to administer like any serious kind of
No,
first aid.
no, but in a dummy.
Yeah, on a dummy. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to first aid, you don't have to give mouth to mouth, especially since
Of
COVID.
course, that's what someone is gonna ask when it comes to.
No, since COVID, the laws, international laws changed. You don't have to go mouth to mouth with a person if you don't want to. You can, but like if you don't do it, not there will be no like nothing will be held against you.
So
most
before COVID, something would have would have been held.
it would be expected of you to give mouth to mouth. I think. Like,
okay.
but nowadays it's not. But
Really,
in
just
gen-
because of COVID.
sorry, but like yeah, because I mean you couldn't give mouth to mouth during COVID, man. Like,
Bro, I rather.
I know
no,
people
but
that
no,
gave
but
thoughts
like,
about food.
like legally, the amount of issues that could have brought and health wise, and it was,
Legally, yeah, I
because
get
the
that.
priority during COVID was to stop the spread. Fuck everything else, as you know, fuck everything else, stop the spread.
What do you think about that?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, my personal experience with COVID was pretty like okay, like
No, but like, what do you think about like? Do
The
you think
government
it was
suppressing us.
that serious of wearing the mask, quarantine?
I don't know, because I know people who have had pretty bad experience with COVID, and
But did they have prior health issues?
who
or
had
older?
issues with their family members, that kind of stuff. So I don't want to like
Yeah.
I don't want to make it seem like
It's nothing.
it wasn't a big deal.
No empathy for that.
But
for those
personally,
people, yeah.
I was out every day.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
good.
I never caught COVID.
I always
I never
thought-
spread it to anyone. I was careful. Obviously, I wasn't. If I was feeling a bit sick, if
Yeah,
I had a bit of a
100%.
cough, I wasn't going out to people.
Bro, what I said at the beginning of COVID, I was just like anyone who's like under 30 and healthy, or if you're like even under 50 and you just take care of yourself, go out, do whatever the fuck you want. Just don't risk going near your like grandparents, older people, all that shit. Take care of yourself. And then like, and if you are an older person, just be more careful because you have more of a risk just naturally. But I didn't see it as much. I thought it was like blown out of proportion a lot, and I got it at first because no one knew what it was, right? But I think it got drawn out for months for like profit and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
government,
legally, I
that
think
shit.
like with the restrictions and stuff, I do think it was a bit over the top.
100%.
But again, my personal experience, it wasn't a very negative experience, COVID. But I know people who didn't go so well during the
Okay,
times.
No, I
so-
get it. Yeah.
A question I have with that is because there's been a recent study that I've seen. It's basically you don't believe you have something, so you technically don't have it, or you don't feel the effects of it. So it's not the placebo effect necessarily. It's more of like, sure, you may have had COVID, but hypothetically, it didn't do effects on you. It might have had effects on you, but the littlest. But because you believed, I guess, in it, you would feel them more.
I
Do you kind of think this is true? Because I use this analogy with headaches. Sometimes I'm like, I don't have a headache. And legit, I'm not kidding. Not like that, but the headache genuinely goes away. My headache like starts going away. Or even when I like think I'm sick. I think I genuinely, because of the most... This might be complete bullshit. I might be talking complete bullshit. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, my brain... I've not gotten sick for like years. A lot of years now. And I genuinely think it's because I just don't feel like I can. Because I'm really healthy. You get what I'm trying to say?
See, yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad way to think. I don't think it's about not believing that you're sick. I think it's more if, let's say someone is sick with something. Let's say someone catches a cold or a flu or has a fever. The thing is, when you, in a situation, let's say you keep telling yourself like, fuck, I'm sick, I'm fucked, my day's ruined, I can't do this, I can't do that. If you, that's when you're kind of adding on to the symptoms of the sickness, because you're putting it into your head that you are sick, you cannot do anything,
Okay.
But if you're sick, if you got some virus, if you got some bacteria that you're not supposed to have, your body's going to feel it no matter what,
Yeah.
But I think, depending on the way you look at it and how you think in the moment, it can.
I think it's to a degree.
It can change. It can decide how badly the symptoms actually affect.
That's
you.
my point. Like, if you think you're a heavyweight, right? If you think you're a heavyweight at drinking, let's say you're not actually, right? I think it will affect it and make you less drunk, but not to the degree where it makes you, like, you don't feel the effects of it at all. Like, you're still going to feel the effects of it, but maybe like 20% less.
Yeah,
Or like, it won't make you not sick, but it will make you like, the symptoms won't be as bad to the
'cause
point where you don't even...
And end of the day, if you can make yourself feel symptoms, which you don't need to have.
That's another thing.
That is
Yeah.
a fact, because you need to understand, like, these are, like, everything goes to the brain.
Bro, they
If
took
you-
a study where it was people thinking that they were on like a certain diet and stuff, and people thinking that they weren't and stuff. Like a whole placebo thing on. They thought that they were losing fat, or they gave them the same food, but they said one of them is to one group that it's fattening, and they said to the other that it's not. The ones that thought it was fattening gained more weight. The other one lost. Like legit, just because of like what they thought they were taking.
No, psychology plays a big part in all of this, like the way you think of these things. When I'm sick, personally, I have to be like really, I have to be like close to dead for me to just stay in bed all. I don't get people who are like a bit sick and they just want to stay in bed all day indoors.
Don't you think to
like,
extent those are just fucking lazy people?
it could be, or it could just be negative people as well. If they just, if they, you know, again, I don't think it's just, I don't think you can categorize it just in one group.
I'm not trying to divide
But
people, but most people, I think.
personally, I wouldn't obviously I wouldn't go out and mix in with people if I'm sick, you know, because I don't want to get other people sick, but at the same time I don't want to confine myself. I don't want to make myself feel any worse than I need to, you know. I'm gonna go out and try to do what I need to do, you know. If
I agree.
and even physical activity personally when I'm sick helps me out a lot.
100%.
I feel so much better.
To
after.
be the number one thing you could do when you're sick, back like pain, anything. If you have back pain, don't like directly work on your back, but like any sort of exercise, cardio, weightlifting, just get your body to like breathe better. It does wonders, bro. I got like drunk once, like really badly, like to the point where like almost blacked out. I've never blacked out, like never gotten that bad. But and then the next day I went for an hour run. I never felt I felt better than I had that whole week, bro. And the morning I felt like dog shit, but just that run, like because sweat, it's like the toxins are getting away, bro. You're sweating everything out. Perfect,
Like,
amazing.
Personally, I don't get
answer.
I don't get hangovers personally, but in general I think when people have hangovers, I think the worst thing they can do is just treat it like it's something serious, and they can't do anything. You know, I'm sorry, I cannot go out. I cannot do this because I'm a bit hungover.
I've never.
I drank a
been-
bit too much last night.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst thing you can do. You know, if you just if you
You're gonna
just,
let
if,
it
if,
ruin-
you, if you
you're
just
gonna get drunk
hydrate,
at
if you
night
just
and
sweat, if you go for a
ruin
run or
your
something,
mood.
you feel so much better.
For example,
100%.
Nico, I wanted
Most people are just dehydrated.
to tell you
That is a big part of being hungover.
Being hungover
dehydrated.
isn't I don't know if this is true, but I heard this. Being hungover isn't actually like it's the damage that you did the night before. It's your body wanting that alcohol. That's why most people don't
it's
get
being
hungover
dehydrated.
unless you're
That's why people say
an alcoholic.
drink water with alcohol. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I don't remember. Do you smoke weed?
Sometimes, very rarely.
No, but
Yeah.
you have smoked weed before.
Yeah.
So for me, an example that I can really use the fact of like I guess thinking that you are worse than you actually are is weed. For me, weed is a perfect example. For example, I was fucked out of my mind at my birthday party. He was there. He can vouch for this. I was whiting. I was completely done. I was fucked. And my girlfriend was fucked as well because I gave her a bit too much weed for her first time, which is really dangerous. I know that was my bad, but and we were laying in bed, and then at a certain point I don't find her next to me, and I hear people saying, "Oh my God, what happened?" Or I hear Zach saying, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I hear someone mentioning her name. I snapped out of the high like if it was nothing. I woke up like if I just woke up on a Saturday morning. I was so fresh. I was fresh out of the runway, bro. I could legit, like, I could do, I don't know. And I went there and I was so focused. And then as soon as I touched the bed again, I was just fucking high again.
Yeah, that's like the thing of like sobering up though. But I think that's like the thing where like let's say you're drunk as fuck, but then someone gets hurt. Your
Yeah.
brain, like I've had that.
No, for sure.
situation.
No,
Have you
your
ever
brain,
had that?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
for
I was
sure.
asking.
No,
I was
for
at a
sure,
party
like-
and someone split their head open and no one knew what the fuck to do. Someone goes, yo, they split their head open. I go, boom. I was like, oh, I'm fucked for like, and then immediately when I heard that alert, like you could still feel the alcohol. I wasn't like, oh, sober, but like it's like it didn't affect me because I was so focused on like helping that person or whatever.
Yeah,
And then right after, I
a
was
big
like,
part of it is when people are out drinking, they don't even if you're smoking, if you're drinking, you don't want to be thinking straight. Mostly, you know. So if the alcohol has this effect on you, and on top of that, you don't want to be thinking, you don't want to be critical, you want to be loose, you know.
Yeah.
So your mind, on top of the effect
why
it
if
actually
you-
gives you, it also dampens. You dampen yourself as well.
I got
You know?
exactly.
Because you could realistically, you can feel loose without anything. You know,
like if you drink that's why drinking when you're angry is so bad. Like if you go into drinking without wanting to be loose, it's just gonna amplify it even more. Obviously, it depends what alcohol. But I found like
depends what alcohol. Why?
based on my experience, spirits and beer and wine are very different.
That's a complete misconception. There's no truth to that at all. No.
Really?
No.
But
Alcohol is alcohol. People who say that they can't mix alcohols and stuff because they get too drunk and that kind of stuff, or it makes them angry.
no, that I get.
Complete.
No, but don't you think that
complete,
no?
like-
But if it's a higher percentage alcohol, that's what I mean.
If it's a higher percentage of alcohol, then you're just gonna get drunk quicker. Then you just. It depends on how much you drink.
I like for me.
I'm not sure exactly how it works out, but I think like a pint of beer is equivalent to a shot or two of like let's
It's
say
the same
vodka.
alcohol amount, but I think it affects you differently.
No, not at all. Why? Why would it affect you differently?
Don't you think the speed of how much when you drink? I'm just asking.
That 100%, in my opinion. Like if
I think it would affect how quickly it all hits you.
that not that
I think if you
whatever.
like let's say you're drinking a can of beer,
Yeah.
and I don't know exactly how it balances out, but let's say a can of beer is equivalent to a shot of vodka. Okay.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
I think you would after you finish a can of beer, I think it would still be the same amount of drunk as you would be after
Like
you finish a shot
vodka?
of vodka. But
Well,
I think the thing is with vodka, it would hit you quicker.
I don't think so.
But I think you would feel like it's less with the beer because you ease into it. But with
It would
vodka,
definitely hit you
Okay,
quick.
okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
no. But don't you think it hits different parts of the brain?
No, but
No,
then, for
no,
me,
not
for me,
that. That's definitely not because it's
for
just
me,
alcohol.
I'm
Alcohol is
sorry.
alcohol. You know, it doesn't matter how slowly you drink it. You
No,
still-
for me, I'm sorry, but that kind of doesn't make sense at all. The reason for me that doesn't make sense is exactly how alcohol works. Is it goes through your blood system.
Yeah.
When your blood has enough time to circulate, when you take a shot, a lot of alcohol takes the same amount and goes exactly into your blood system. When you drink a beer, you give time unless you chug it. If you chug it, you have the same effect.
But it's still the same amount of alcohol in your
It's the
system.
same amount of alcohol, but it's
But
not
it's also-
it's not the same speed that it got into the bloodline.
Yeah, and
but-
it's also percentage.
Yeah,
to
but
me, the percentage.
but that's
makes
what
a
I'm saying.
difference.
End result, you're gonna have the same amount of alcohol in your system.
100%. Alcohol level, yes.
No,
So-
but let's say in your
Drunkenness
stomach,
level, drunkenness, no.
mixed,
No,
mixed.
that's got nothing.
No, but like
don't
no
know, that's-
mixed
I'm not gonna
drinks.
talk
I
about
feel
that,
like
but-
do different than just
May-
spirits.
Maybe mixed drinks can affect how, depending on what is in the drinks that you're drinking, obviously, can definitely affect your stomach, but
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with being drunk or
It's
your,
like if
or
you
your
mix
state of
Coke
mind.
and vodka versus just vodka, the sodium and the salt is gonna make a difference.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with being drunk or your state of mind. That is
Yeah,
that is
no.
just that is
Yeah,
completely
I'm-
different.
Yeah, that's
that's a
completely
whole
like, yeah.
different.
Another thing that I have to ask both of you, because this is a thing in Italy, actually. I don't know, I've never heard it around here. In Italy, it's a really big thing to not drink, so never go lower from what you started. So if you drink vodka, you can't go to a beer and then go back to vodka.
You only go
You
higher.
always go higher.
Yeah.
So you
I
never
don't
wanna
understand
drop
that.
Down.
I don't know.
I never. I'm not
I don't
saying
know.
that I understand that. I was just seeing. if you
I
guys
I've
knew
heard
your
it, but
point.
I don't understand it. Like I also know I know a lot of people who say they don't drink whiskey because it's a angry drunk.
That
But there is literally no part of that makes sense. It's a complete. I'm not.
Callum
But
is always
no,
happy.
no. But the thing is, it doesn't.
it's like
mean,
that
it-
Hennessy
it-
makes you horny.
But it doesn't mean that it doesn't make them angry when they drink whiskey. That's not what it means.
But you think it's in their head?
Exactly. If you no, but that's what I'm saying.
Let's
If you
talk about drinking versus
genuinely
other Corona.
if you genuinely believe
I get that to
you're
a
going
degree,
if,
but
like if I've got a glass of whiskey in my hand and I actually believe that when I finish this glass of whiskey I'm gonna get angry. And like if you tell me to go fuck myself now, like let's say I know I'll
that
react
or
fine.
vodka.
But if I've got a glass of whiskey in my hand then I believe this is something I know. If you tell me to go fuck myself after I've had this whiskey, I'm gonna get angry.
I think there's a difference.
So if I believe that and then you tell me to go fuck myself, I'm gonna get angry because that's what I know.
Yes, but I do
But
think
but
that
that but that has nothing to do with me drinking whiskey.
I think it does do difference. Like when you mix all alcohols, like if let's say I drink a beer, vodka, and whiskey, that's gonna be a different drunk, and I'm gonna take things differently than if I just drink beer, or if I just drink vodka, or if I just drink.
It all depends on how much alcohol you ingest.
But
And
no,
th-
let's
th-
say
this is
theoretically
this.
it's all the same alcohol.
I'm telling you factually, you can research this. It has no effect what different alcohol you drink. Alcohol is alcohol. It depends on how much alcohol you actually take
Not
in.
how drunk.
There's
but
no
the
different.
way-
There's no different alcohol.
But vodka and Hennessy, like, what's the difference?
There's
Besides the alcohol, what's in it?
It's
'cause
just-
I don't know
It's
shit.
just made by vodka can be made in a lot of different ways. The most common is out of potatoes. Vodka can be made in a few different.
My life is potato.
Seriously, like I don't know how whiskey is made exactly, to be honest. But like,
But don't you think that makes a difference? Like that's what I think.
No,
it is.
but
'Cause it's
but
mixed,
But the only
technically.
reason you get drunk is because of there's alcohol in it. Alcohol is a substance. Alcohol is a thing on its
Yes,
own.
but I think the way it mixes with like that, like the wheat, the way it mix it rather than a spirit, which is like distilled or whatever.
It can be a different percentage of alcohol in it, but it's still alcohol.
But I think that makes a difference on like how you take
Okay,
things.
but
and how you
but
react.
I'm telling you, and you can research this. This is not my opinion. This is because
I have no clue, but I just.
No, but I'm telling you,
thought
I have
that.
looked into it. You can look into. I think you should look
But
into
based
it
on your
yourself.
personal experience, for you, it's the same.
I've no. It's just it depends on how much you drink, man. You know, like if I
Fair
drink if I drink 3 beers, I'll let's say I get a bit tipsy. You know, if I take 3 shots of vodka, let's say I get a bit tipsy. I'm not gonna.
I just think
if I'm drinking if I do the beers, the only difference I feel is I'm gonna have to piss a lot more, and that's annoying.
yeah, that's
know?
obvious.
You know?
I love that.
That's obvious for
I love
sure.
that.
But like it's
Every time
because
I
I have
think of
looked into
beer-
it because it's a very common misconception. Like
Beer
it's
just
very
makes me-
very common, you know. But if you
Yeah.
look into
You
it,
know, sometimes
because there have been studies done on this. It's not something
just
that
makes
no one
me
knows.
wanna-
If you look into it, it's just
Yeah.
alcohol is alcohol.
Yeah, yeah. But I just think it's like to me, whiskey makes you more tired than vodka. It could be all in my head, but that is what, like-
it's a placebo effect.
So, placebo.
Or no. But that's the thing. I didn't think of that before. So it probably was just like that
But
time. I just
yeah,
happened to
something
be
probably
more
just
tired.
happened at time, and you happen to be tired. So then you're like, "Fuck! If I drink whiskey,
Because then I've also heard people be like, "Bro, vodka makes me tired," or then someone else like, "What? No, vodka makes me energetic." Like that's when I've doubted it a lot.
yeah."
Bro, for
Yeah.
me, any alcohol makes me tired. Zach knows this. I always go to sleep when I'm drunk. My brain just tells me to go to sleep. So far this episode,
Where's
guys,
the-
has been about fighting.
And I'll
Bring
go
up-
on
bring
fucking-
up the-
nice guys.
That's what I want to get into now.
Ex-
Now that we're in an hour in, bro.
Expiring is no, but like half whatever. But experience in fighting and watch out, don't break the bottles. Just said it. Experience in fighting and alcohol or placebo effects and like your first aid. A thing that I wanted to get into is like, how did you always wanted to? How have you always like, or I guess how in the latest time have you thought of like working in the marina? Like, have you always had a passion for like the sea?
No.
Because isn't Georgia... Okay, I don't know shit about geography, so I'm gonna fight. You're gonna roast me for
Okay.
this. Does Georgia has any water around it?
Yes.
Oh.
So a part of Georgia touches on the Black Sea. I used to go there every summer in Georgia. It was a thing. So I wasn't completely new to the sea. It's a very different kind of sea, the Black Sea, compared to Mediterranean.
Is it black?
It's darker. It is darker than.
I love that. I love to actually know that.
It is darker than the water here. It's got something to do with the salt contents and just the general thing. It's a lot saltier than the sea here as well.
What word did you just say? Could you repeat that?
The salt contents.
Oh, no, but you said something else after and it sounded like a whole word and I was like, what the fuck?
It's got something to do with the salt contents and just the natural. I don't know, man. Just a mix of water.
It's something-
it's
it's
a
black,
different
guys.
sea. It's a different sea.
It's closer to Africa. I don't know what to tell you.
No, that's stupid.
That's joke. Chill out.
It's a different. It's
It's
just
a joke,
different
it's
composition of water. But so I wasn't new to the sea, but I never had any interest in boats at all. I knew nothing about them, you know. But I always liked being. I love nature as a kid. I always have. So I always liked being around the sea. But me working with boats was very random. I
I wasn't planned.
not at all. I turned 18. Sorry, I turned.
We're beating up the
I had
mics.
just turned 18 and I wasn't making any more money at the time for a few months. I had decided to stop. Yeah, and literally the day after the on my birthday, I remember I was having a barbecue with my family, Blaze, and a friend of mine, Jack, not little Jack, Canadian Jack. He was over, and I remember just thinking like, fuck. I need to make some money. I need to get a job. And literally the day after, I went out and I remember I had a friend who worked with Camino Ferries as just directing people to the ferries basically, and I knew that they needed someone, so I went over there to ask. And while I was there, he mentioned about my now manager who's looking for a worker in Gozo, and I called him. I spoke to him that same day. I went had a little interview, and the day after I just started working there, and I guess I learned from nothing, and I just got interested in it, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Is there like a main goal that you want to reach, like captain of the ship?
No, I don't know, cause like that's the thing.
I've heard you've been offered it.
because after being there for 2 years, like I didn't know it was this in depth. I didn't know there was so much to it. So before, like for the last, let's say, year, I've been focused on like the super yacht industry, and not just super yachts. Like let's say yachts like over 30 meters. You know, like big luxury yachts. Working on them. Start off as a deckhand, work your way up as an officer, overseer, captain eventually. But then, so there's progression to be made in the industry. But then I was doing a course in Malta. It was like basic safety training, basic firefighting, first aid, just general safety and that kind of stuff. And I met some people who work in the oil industry, and that got me interested as well. Because one, the working conditions are like, obviously the actual work itself isn't always the best.
It's insanely dangerous.
It's not as dangerous as it used to be. I think it's very.
I don't know.
It's like everyone thinks it's. I'm not saying it's safe, but like if you and your team know what you're doing, if you actually do what you learn that you're supposed, if you work how you're supposed to work, it's not that dangerous. There's always risks, obviously, but it doesn't have to be that dangerous. But like let's say you work 4 weeks on, you get 4 weeks off, you still get paid for the 4 weeks off. That one of my main reasons, like my struggles with work, is I want to live in Georgia, but I cannot work in Georgia. It's not worth it. I cannot make the kind of money that I want to make there. I cannot progress far enough, you know. But let's say I don't want to move to Georgia now, but I know it's something I want to do eventually. You know, or at least I want to be able to be there for long periods of time if I want to, comfortably. If I'm working oil, I could go offshore for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. Then the 4 weeks that I have off, I can be wherever the fuck I want, including Georgia. I'm still going to get paid the wage that I'm getting outside of Georgia, but I'll also be able to be home there, you know? And
wait, how old are you again?
I'm 20.
20.
Do you have any goals for your 25?
Yeah, like
No.
next 5 years, what do you envision for yourself?
Next 5 years,
Or even like a rough sketch. It doesn't genuinely.
Not like where you want to be, just like what are your current, like, this is what I want to do, this is what
I don't know. I by 25, I'm confident that I'll at least have bought some kind of property in Georgia. Like
Do you have a citizenship? Yeah, I'm guessing you
I'm actually in a process of renewing my passport over there, and it'll be done by the end of this year. So I'll have 2 passports basically. I'll have Maltese and Georgian. But but I'm confident that'll happen. Like it's not really a goal. It's just something.
Yeah.
It'll happen. But because I was still now the oil is very new to me. Again, it's one of the things I didn't think about it before. But now that I heard about it, I met people who are into it. I'm interested, but at the same time, I like trying different things, and I've been wanting to get into the super yacht industry quite a bit, so I'm thinking I'll do that for a bit, because now I am qualified to get into the work for that at the moment, so I can easily jump into that. So I'm thinking I'll do that for a bit, just so I know I can tell myself I've got the experience. It might not be for me, it could be for me, but I don't want to skip over it, forget it, and then just think, fuck, how would that have been?
What did you want to do when you were a kid?
Ooh.
For a while, being an archaeologist, I was very big on science.
Really?
Yeah, being an archaeologist.
never
I just
guessed that.
love nature as a kid, animals, birds, everything. I wanted to be an
Tell by your
archaeologist, and then
tattoos.
just anything to do with history, just
Yeah.
animal. I don't know, nature. You know, there were a
Earth.
few things. Yeah,
No way. Yeah.
an astronaut for a while, but I think everyone wanted to be an astronaut at some point.
I hated that. I've never wanted to be an astronaut in my life. The one that I was most.
I thought that the
focused on
moon landing was fake. So, well, no, I think that now. I thought it was real.
The one that I think I was mostly into was like firefighter or like
Really,
like,
that's something I never thought about. You know, it was never
I
like.
wanted to be police.
You know why I wanted to be bro? I'm telling you, I used to like watch older like how my mom would always be like, oh, those guys are hot, and I'm like, I want to be one of them. I want to have moms like commenting on me saying I'm hot, you know. But it was just a fucking. That wasn't the reason. That was like as well because of like. Fuck, what's his name? Fireman
Sam?
Oh my god, I love that. I was such like a kid. But yeah, I think everyone has always wanted to be in something that in today's age we call it, I guess, working for the government.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, and I was actually really too close to it. I think I was thinking of getting into the military, and I was like really into it for a while. I was actually like I was on the way, you know. I was because my dad is half English, and I'm eligible for an English passport as well if I want.
Oh,
and I was like heavily researching and really close to getting.
English? What do you mean? Was it UK?
Yeah, United Kingdom.
What corps?
Huh?
What corps?
I was thinking of going to the
Royal Navy.
Royal Navy. Yeah, exactly. But I'm so glad I didn't, because
Yeah.
it's not all that.
It's
I
not
looked into
all
realistic
that,
and
but I respect the shit out of any corpse in England. That's the corpse that I respect the most. I've never trained like that.
it's
Just
the,
from what I know.
the training side of it is okay. I think that's very good. I like the training side of it, but it's also like the reality of like war is just not nice. It's not something attractive.
Yeah,
And
part of me.
having to be put in positions where I know I would not believe in what I was doing. I wouldn't want to. Why would I put myself in a situation where I have no choice but to do what I don't want to do? You know. And a lot of people,
I get you.
a lot of people who are in the military
Don't want to do
go through that, you know, and then that builds up like fuck. They need therapy, you know, like it's serious.
Yeah.
So, I think being in the military looks a lot more attractive than it actually is.
Yeah,
and,
a movie.
And if you look into it,
Yeah.
anyone who has been in the military says that. And
Or everyone that's been to war, because I like to see the difference between that, because you can tell someone who's been in the military that's like been in the military, or someone who's been in the military but has gone through war. Like I could always see the
Yeah.
difference between.
like one of the reasons I always wanted to go to the military is because I knew my dad was in the army, and he had his thing with it. But then like as I got older, he started like telling me about some of the stuff that actually happened and things that he's witnessed and been through. And then that's when I really started to understand, okay, like maybe this isn't,
Yeah.
it's not attractive. It's not nice.
Well, did he do it out of like choice or like drafted?
No, it was choice. It was choice. But then you get to a point where you choose to be there. But then once you're there, you know, you can't just,
Yeah.
you know.
Question.
It's commitment.
You said it's not attractive, and I completely agree with it. But don't you think sometimes we're not necessarily required to do things that we necessarily want to do?
What do you mean?
That we have to do. Like, okay, I don't mean that war is necessary to any certain level, but I do think that it's necessary to certain levels. Like, yes, for a long time I've had like the mindset, because I lost one of my friends in America, that he moved from Ireland to America. He lost his dad to war. He was in Israel, and he lost his dad to war. And I was really pissed in that like span of time, because I was like, who gives a fuck? It's their country. We shouldn't be helping them. There's no point. It's their country. They have to deal with it, right? But then I come to think of it, and what if I was in the same situation with them? Would I want people to help me? Yes. So I don't agree with war, but don't you think sometimes war is necessary, or not necessary to start a war, but to protect someone from a war?
Okay.
Yeah, but then there's always that other side.
To comment on that, what I was gonna mention earlier is that like recently because I've the most I know from war, just to be honest, is like from films, movies. So some of them have been written on like real stories. Like me and Simona really like the film American Sniper. That's what it's called. Yeah.
But
have you seen it?
But
Yeah, I have seen it.
to now that I've gotten more into it, like not from films and actually like read about it a bit and stuff, what like being the perspective of because I think the best way of thinking is when you can put yourself in multiple different shoes, and not just think what it's like to be the guy fighting at the military, but his kid or his wife or whatever. And when I think like that, or to be the guy, sometimes these men are fighting for wars that like they're just, to the big guys, the war isn't necessary. And I know that that's
it's rarely necessary. It's rarely necessary.
that's what I mean. Like what George W. Bush did wasn't like he sent military when they did not need to. Like a lot of army soldiers like died for, at the end of the day, nothing besides just power.
I mean, if you look back at history, most war has been kind
Yeah, but some of them are like because like to protect children, because of whatever and stuff like that, and that's part of it. But like literally you're fighting for a war that's not even yours at the end of it. Like it's you're fighting for something that isn't actually what's happening. Like that's to me the fear, or the thing that's disappointing is like you know, my dad died or my father passed away or whatever to a war that he didn't even know what he was actually fighting for. Like that type of thing. Like you know what you're fighting for to a degree, but at the top, like they're thinking like let's just send these troops in and fucking like a lot of the stuff with the military and the soldiers and stuff like that, it's a lot about like equipment, guns. Do you know how much money and shit gets like drafted and shit? There's
War
a
Dogs.
lot of power.
Dogs
War Dogs is a
legit-
perfect example of it.
it's
Yeah,
legit marketing. War is a
yeah.
minefield of.
There are
Yeah,
people
it
making
has-
money
it
off
has, it
war,
has a lot
off
to, it
your
has a lot to
life.
do with equipment, money, numbers, and also morale. Like
That's what I
people,
mean.
when people have something to fight for.
Bro, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, the only thing that maybe it doesn't value for both of you, but for me, a thing that I would be, I guess, proud of, or not proud of, just feel satisfied myself. If I was a soldier, fighting for another country, sure, I'm protecting the people. Fighting for my own country, if my country was a war, like actually,
Your country being Italy, let's say.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I would 100% if I like Zach said, there are people that are fighting in wars that they don't even know why they're fighting in these wars. For me, if I was a war towards my country, I'd be
No.
completely fine with enrolling.
No, but that's my point. What if like it's like not a lie, but you think that
For
you're
me,
fighting
but
for
why?
your country
Like, why?
in reality?
Like,
me-
why would you want to go enroll?
I feel.
Would it be a sense of duty? Like you feel like you would have to?
That's what I
Yeah.
was about to tell you, Nico. And I wanted to hear your point on that because I've always thought of this, and I've always told Zach, and I think I've told you before of this, that I wanted to join the army for a long time. It's always been at the back of my head. And I've never really pulled the trigger because I could have pulled the trigger multiple times, especially because I have a really good, like, I have my citizenship in Italy. I can do a lot of things. I could easily enroll in the Italian force, in more specific, Berrette Blu. But yes, I just find that for me it's so appealing. It's because I like the idea of serving my country, even though my country did jack shit
But
with
why?
me.
Why would you like that idea?
You know, I don't know.
Like
Is
what
it right?
what do you think you'll get out of it?
Satisfaction.
But from what? Why? But what is satisfying about it?
Because I'm protecting people, protecting
From what?
women and children from a war.
No, but that's my point.
Yes.
What if
but
my point is like,
love
what
that
if you
mindset,
think?
But I hate it because, bro, then everything you can think of.
No.
It's
You're
fucked.
misunderstanding what I'm saying. I can tell you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I mean is like, it's not that you're not fighting for anything. It's that you're a pawn. Like to the guys on top, you're literally being
That is all
sent
you are.
to war.
Okay,
That's what I mean. You're a pawn, bro. And I'm not saying
I
like
guess,
I
yeah.
want the power and I want to be at the top and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like I've heard views like that of like people being like I wish my dad didn't go to war. I wish my parents didn't go to war because like he lost his life and I never grew up with him for what? To serve his country, that when at the end of the day he was not actually, it was all because of government fighting over government, all for that. Like it's a, you know, that's my point. Like that's a side to it. I'm not saying that diminishes the whole thing, but that's something that people don't think about at all. And when I see someone who's fought in the army, I have instant respect just for things like that. It doesn't mean like I have respect for him. Undoubtedly, like someone could fight in the war, be a part of the military, and be a bad person. But my point is like, it's that like you're a pawn. You're just being used. Like they don't care about you.
If you want to get a good perspective on war, there's a movie came out recently ish. It's called All Quiet on the Western Front. I didn't watch it too long ago. You should write that down.
The one I've seen recently is Brothers.
It's a very good movie and it's a nice perspective.
All
Well, not nice. It's a it's not a nice perspective. But it's a good perspective to be aware of. It's in German, just so you know. You'll have to watch it either subtitles or dubbed.
Dubbed.
I personally watched it with subtitles because I feel like
Maybe.
because that's how they're expressing themselves. But again,
I just
you
find
watch it.
myself pausing it so much times.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
But this movie is actually like it's the third time it was made. First time it was made in like the 1930s. Then it was remade in the 70s.
Okay.
1930s.
30s.
So it's about World War One.
Yeah, it's about World War One. And then it was remade
I was
again
about to say
in the
World War
70s. No, it's
These
40s,
guys,
bro.
did it
it's
before.
about World War One.
Okay. You know, I don't know shit about World War One. I know a lot about World War Two.
I don't know too much about
I
it,
know
but I know there was a lot of stuff that led up to it. But the main thing that kicked it off was some assassins from like Slavic side of the world assassinated the Austrian president or shocking. I don't know how. I don't remember exactly the details, but that's what ticked it off.
I'm telling you, I
And
don't
it
know
was,
jack shit about World War II. The thing is, the thing that people don't understand is they think there have been two wars. People that genuinely don't know anything about military, which is fine, they genuinely think there's technically only been two wars. There have been two global wars.
Yeah.
Then there's been the Cold War. Been the Afghanistan. There's been a lot of things.
No, there's wars going on right now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always been some war.
Always war.
But it's just people don't normally talk about it unless it's in their face.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know?
So, complete deviation. That is the question that I guess means that we really like your point of views. Like I said at the start of the show of the episode, I guess, is you're really strong on your opinion, and you can really prove to me what a real man is in the sense of me and you can disagree on a few things, especially when it comes to like morals, when it comes to like, I guess, rights and women and all of this shit, okay? But the thing that I respect the most about...
Sense?
I'll get into it, but
okay.
the thing that I respect most about you, which we both do, because we mentioned this, is that you stand by them. You don't give a fuck what's going on around you. You still will stand by them and don't change your mind on them. Or you get a different perspective, but you don't change your mind.
No, it depends. Because I do hear what people say.
No, I definitely.
I'm open to. I don't think my opinion is perfect with everything. That is like no way. I do not think my opinion is perfect in every sense. Like that would be a massive flaw. But like if it's something I'm really confident in for whatever reason, whether it's because that is actually how it is or whether I'm being delusional, I'm gonna be confident. I will hear what other people have to say. If you think I'm wrong, I would like you to tell me how you think I'm wrong, and I will consider what you're telling me. I will actually think about it. You know, so it's not like I don't ignore. It's not.
I've had my mind changed on the spot.
It's not that I don't give a fuck about what's going on around me. That is not true. I do hear what people have to say, but it also depends on who it's coming from.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
how valuable could their opinion on how I think, how valuable would their opinion be?
And what's
I consider that. I think about that as well.
What are they trying to say? Are they saying it out of like insecurity, arrogance?
Exactly.
Those things.
Like why do they think that what I'm saying is wrong?
Yeah, like I don't think you should like. I've become like there were moments where I like shut people out just because of like certain external things.
Yeah.
And looking back, or just even in the moment, I just thought like, yeah, but they still had some right points on other things.
For
like,
sure.
Someone could be like unhealthy as fuck, but then still have really good views on other things.
Exactly. I think as a person you should always be open to hearing what people have to say.
Yeah.
Even let's say someone let's say someone is actually dumb. Like let's say someone is actually a bit stupid. That doesn't mean that everything they say is stupid and it's not true, you know?
Like
I think you should be open to what people say.
100%.
It doesn't mean you don't stand by what you think, but you also need to understand that you are human.
Yeah, I think
the dumbest person in the world 1 time out of 10 will say something that is outsmarting you. That's my point of view on a conversation like this.
To me, I think the dumbest people are in a way like the only ones that will like the people that, because they'll question things. I think someone who's like, no, that's stupid.
That's curiosity. That's not being stupid.
No, sometimes I think it's genuinely out of like stupidity. Well, it goes too far sometimes.
No, because some people are just
like Gary's dumb, but it makes
okay.
Some people are stupid and they're either not aware of it or they're happy with it. Some people are stupid and curious. But
you're kind of right. I get that, but do you know what I mean? But it's curiosity out of stupidity.
Why? Everyone is curious. I'm a curious.
Or not that. I guess it's being like, not humble. Humility. When you're stupid, you're not afraid to be like humble. You're not afraid to be like, I don't know shit. That's the thing I love about Simone. But it's like intellectually, I don't think he's as smart as me, but that's why I think we go so well.
Here, bro.
Like that's why I think I can have a better conversation with him and I can hang out with him better. Not because it's easier because he's dumber. It's because he knows, like he's self-aware about it, and because he's not afraid to say. But like that's the thing. There are stupid people who try to hide it.
In reality, like you don't know shit. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know shit.
I definitely don't know shit.
You know,
there are things we do.
Yeah, but there are things we think we know. But then, like, something could happen in the next year. In the
Matrix.
No, in the next 10 years, and what
Everything
you
gets
thought you
believed,
knew
yeah.
might not be the
But
way.
that's
it
my
is.
point. That's I think why a lot of stupid people who like someone. This is very far, and this is just like stupid. But like, if someone says like the Earth is flat, everyone who like thinks of them as smart, it's like the self perception of you think you're smart. You're just gonna be like, no, fuck that. That's stupid. And people that think there's like that are genuinely just like, but what if it is? Like they're not afraid to be stupid. It's like that thing. It's like, what if?
You know, that's scary.
It's with me, like with me recently. I've been getting into a lot of like just not believing a lot.
That's
of
also being ignorant, because when like if we're talking about the Earth being flat,
no, no.
like,
Take that as an example.
Okay, but like in that sense, the facts are there.
The facts are there.
If you're choosing
Okay,
to
but
ignore
like-
those facts, you're being dumb.
Yeah, but
and
things
ignorant.
like
But I think curiosity is very good, and I think
COVID. COVID is a perfect example. If you just listen to what the media tells you, if you just listen, you go, yeah, it's killable,
I think that's
whatever.
a very sensitive subject, and I think it's difficult to take just one side on it. I think it's very difficult to just take one side on it, because it's
No, I'm not saying
it's
there's
a
one side, but don't you think that? Yeah,
Do you think the numbers were accurate? Tell the truth with that.
that's my point.
I don't know.
If you that's what I'm trying to say. It's not about
That's
sides.
the thing. I don't know.
Me, that's the only thing that was sus about me.
don't
I
know.
think
It's about me.
okay,
It's about
yeah,
the whole
but
situation.
that's my point. It's like if you're just gonna believe
But
everything
not
that they
the
say.
numbers of infected. I'm saying the numbers of death. Okay, that's what I'm.
See,
That's what I'm saying.
That's 100%.
I don't know. I'm not saying. I don't think the media is always like. Media can be bullshit. It's not always bullshit.
There's a difference between mainstream media.
there is a lot of bullshit that comes through media.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can speculate. I can make theories up. I can read what other people have to say. I can hear other people's opinions, but there's no way for me to know for sure whether the numbers were true or they weren't.
But in your
So-
perception, that's what I want to know.
But
No, but don't.
I don't see the point in trying to wrap my head around something which there's no way for me to understand it.
It's not about wrapping your head around. It's I don't want to go outside and wear a mask when I'm not gonna fucking get anything.
So don't. Why would that?
Because you're being like you'll get
Well,
a
why would-
fine, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's the point. That when it goes to the point,
that is
or
nothing,
or
but that
with,
has nothing to do
alright,
with. But that
this
has
is-
nothing
this is-
to do, that has nothing to do with the numbers. That has something to do with the place that you're living in and the laws they're putting on you.
bro.
As a citizen of a country,
if-
like legally, you have no choice but to respect the laws. But no choice.
Okay.
You know, as a citizen, like
If I had a family member that passed away because they had cancer and they marked them as a COVID death, I'd just be like
But you
that
wouldn't even know
angers.
that.
That's
But you can't even know that.
they
yeah,
literally mark.
Okay, like I'm not saying that is right, but what I'm saying is, because you asked me if I think the numbers were real or not,
That's what
I have
was
no idea.
Okay, but to
So-
get into something that kind of has to do with this, for me, the part where it goes way too far is like having to call someone by their pronouns. When it comes into a law,
I
it's
wanna
wrong.
hear this opinion
When it comes
from
into a
someone.
law, it's wrong. Fuck right or wrong, morals, whatever. When it comes into a law, hate speech isn't real, in my opinion. It's being mean, hating someone, hate speech, sure. But for it to be illegal and for you to, for the government to have anything or the law to have anything to do with you should or shouldn't say this, I believe is fundamentally wrong on every level.
I want to hear your
Like, do you
opinion.
think
I
someone
want an
should be
actual
like
answer.
no, like in New York, and in Canada? Yeah, drink some more beers, bro. There were like if you didn't call someone by their pronouns, you'd get fined or arrested. Legit, I think
Okay.
that is extremely wrong.
Fined and arrested, I think, is a bit extreme, but at the same time, shit. At the,
You did that so much, bro. Can I put on the
I love
headphones?
Yeah.
at the same time, like I do understand. I don't think it should be illegal. I don't think it should be a legal matter. But at the same time, I understand if someone wants to be like spoken to in this way, if someone prefers to
No,
be
no,
spoken,
don't think
referred
about that at all. I have no like. I just don't think it should be a thing where it's like you should or shouldn't.
I think
I think
I
everyone-
don't think it should be a legal thing at all. But if it comes down to morally, fair enough. But it just depends on
But
your.
that's a respect thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's out of respect.
Yeah.
You know, but I do it like it's out of respect, whether you want to respect this person or not.
Yeah, but
You know,
don't
so
you think
the-
it's a
the-
bit
like, the-
delusional?
No, but who are you to say what's like?
It's like
maybe
me
it's not-
telling you have to call me tall when I'm short.
No, but if you tell me that you would feel more respected if I looked at you as a tall person than a short person, then it's my choice whether I want to respect that or not. If I
But
know,
it's also,
Yes,
but
it's
when
like-
when does
but-
it come down to reality where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're short, bro.
no, but it's like, but I might not agree. I don't have to agree with it. That's what I'm trying to say. But
But
if you
why-
if
but-
you tell me, no, listen. If you tell me, listen, you can either call me this or you can call me that. But if you call me this,
No, if I go up to you and say, my adjectives are tall, handsome, rich. When I'm poor, short, and not that good.
okay,
looking.
I think that's very different to like what reality is with pronouns and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
people consider
because
themselves
it's with
toasters.
huh.
People consider themselves birds.
Yeah, but again, that's people like overreaching most
No,
of the
but
time.
come on, like you have to call me Z,
I've had-
they,
bro, I've
them. Like
had a
it's
girl-
like to a
No,
degree.
but these things are related to self identity. They have nothing to do with like being helicopters.
why should that have anything to do with what I have to say to you?
No, but that's the thing. It doesn't have to.
Like
Well,
no, it's like
listen,
if you get
listen.
angry at me calling you accidentally something else. Like the other day, I was at my school, and this is a funny story. I was at my school, and one of my friends was talking to my other friend, and they both had Monsters. And one of my friend has like, he always drinks Monsters, and I'm like, bro, you have to stop drinking that. And why the fuck do you always drink that one? Because he drank the basic one, the regular one. And I go, it doesn't even taste that good. He's like, it's the best flavor. And then the person next to him just goes, no, this one's the best flavor. And he pulled up the mango one. And I personally like that one. It's like my favorite one. So I just went, that guy has a point. That's my favorite one too. And then I said, like, my guy has a point or whatever. And then, like, I just hear, like, the person just turns around, looks at me and says, girl. And I go, what?
Okay.
And then he
Okay.
goes, I'm she, her. And I didn't go, I don't give a fuck. Like I think it's just why should I, that person is, if she or he whatever wants to think that, I have no problem with, like, why should I, if I try to say something like, no, you're a guy, like, what's that gonna do? It's just gonna create shit for no reason.
Nothing. But
And there's, I don't gain anything from
End
that,
of the
and
day-
they're not gonna gain anything.
in that situation, if you didn't know that this
That's my
person
point.
prefers-
If someone's like, no, you should call, like,
no, but Zach, if you don't know and you don't know, it's simple. You don't know. That's an honest.
yeah, you have to have respect from both parts. Where it's
But,
like,
like-
if someone calls you by
but
accident,
if it's in a
he,
listen, but if it's in a situation where you know that a person prefers to be called this, then it just comes down to whether you give enough of a shit, whether you care about this person, whether you want
yeah,
to
but
respect
that's my
this person.
point. It's
You don't-
it's
no, listen, you don't. No, listen, you don't have to.
yeah.
But because you will be disrespecting this person, whether you think that
It's like insults.
no, but
It's literally like calling someone
But
a
whether you think that this person feeling disrespected is right or wrong, you cannot change the fact that this person is going to be disrespected. They're gonna feel this way. Just your
That's
opinion.
my
No, but your opinion is not gonna change how this person feels on what you say.
yeah. But don't you think it's a bit delusional sometimes?
No, but that's just different opinions. That's
No,
how
but
they
don't
feel.
you think it's like no? But I'm not saying it's a different opinion. I just think it's like delusional sometimes. If you're gonna literally get upset at me about not calling you a Z when I've never fucking used that word in my life. What the fuck is wrong with you?
If you don't know, then you just don't know.
No, but
Then,
let's say it's the
listen.
third time I'm hanging out with them. They dress like masculine. They look masculine. They were a man, or biologically they are a man. Because biologically, I don't care what anyone says. There's only two, and they want to be called a Z, right? Let's say it's the third time I'm hanging out with them, and I go, "Yo, what's up, bro?" And then they go like, "It's like." I really have to change the way I speak.
Okay,
That reaches
listen,
so
no,
far where it's like
but
you're delusional. Who the
in,
fuck?
in that situation, if you know that they don't like being called a certain way and you still call
No, but I mean like
No, but
slip ups
listen,
like that.
no, but
you know?
listen, if you know that they don't like being called a certain way and you still call them that way, I'm not saying you cannot make a mistake, but whether it's an accident or not, they're gonna feel disrespected. Now, whether you think that them being that disrespected is justified or not, whether you think they are delusional, whether you think they're crazy, or whether you think it's okay, it means nothing because it's not gonna change how they react to what you think. You know,
But it also changes if you change it. No. But that's my point.
No, but you can listen.
All
Zach,
these people that you can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna start calling you that because that it's like it's like feeding into it. It's gonna just make people think that it's okay to be delusional. I genuinely think that to a degree.
But
It's like if someone, it's like what you said to me.
But with
No,
the-
bro, I think what you think is a bit like out of ignorance. That's perfect. Like you should be able to say that. It's like when you can't just change. It's like telling someone you can't control what people think or say about you. That's what I mean. There's a level of control when it comes to it. I think the government.
You can't control it, but that doesn't mean you want to react to it.
I agree with you on that part, but don't you think that it's okay for me to just be like, I don't fucking care?
No,
Because it's like
that is fine, but what I'm trying to say, that is a choice you have. You can be like that, but then at the same time, you will be disrespecting this person, and especially.
But when does it come? But that's my point. When does
it?
it come when it's like, yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect you as a person, as a character, as a whatever.
But you're still constantly disrespecting them.
Yes, but that's the thing. To me, it's not disrespect, not calling you or calling
But
you
it is,
bro on
because
accident.
if I tell you that if you say this to me, you're gonna disrespect, I'm gonna be offended.
No, if you're doing it on purpose, that's different.
And you still say that, and
No,
if you're doing
but
it on
but
purpose, it's
but
different.
This is really different because we're talking about something that we're talking about different things like pronouns and being called a name, two different things.
We're talking about pronouns here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But if you tell me, I like to be called a he or a she or a he or a they or a z or a zex or whatever the fuck you want to be called. Okay, a bird. I'll call you a bird if you want. I don't care what I have to call you. If I'm talking to you directly, fuck it. I'll call you that. I have respect for you. But if I'm speaking and I'm just genuinely going with my flow, I can change my vocabulary.
Yeah, okay.
That's my point.
Okay, no.
You shouldn't. I think it is extremely like. I don't know if it's fucking narcissistic or you have a delusional self of like empowerment that you should be upset at me for accidentally calling you bro.
I don't think it has anything to do with empowerment, but
I think it 100% does.
no,
I think it 100%
it's just about the way they feel personally.
Some,
personally,
not all.
personally,
Not all, but I think some people
personally,
100%.
I don't see why it's such a big deal. Because like, let's say you want to be called one thing, and like, fuck it, why shouldn't I just?
I think it is a big deal because it's gone so far to the point where the law has gone.
It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't affect me personally what other people want to be called. You know.
Yeah, but it affects your speech.
If I know that things are gonna be better for everyone, if I just call this person that, if I refer to them as that, fuck it, I'll do it. If I make an honest mistake and you want to get pissed at me, like
that's different.
If you want to be pissed off, fair enough, I understand. But it's an honest mistake. I was not trying to disrespect you.
Yeah, but it's also like that's in your control. That's in that person's control.
The thing.
But what my point is, I think it just went too far. I didn't give a shit. Like I still don't give a shit.
I don't see why. For me, if someone wants to be referred
no,
to
it's
as
when
one
it comes,
thing,
bro.
If I can do it, I'll do it. You know.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. The only thing that I'm there like, why? I'm so confused. It's not even they only get pissed at you. Is that there's 20 fucking girls that don't even know who the fuck you are. Could come up to you. Oh, you called them this. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you to say? You weren't even there. That's what I hate. I hate because like he said, they do feel empowered.
Yes,
they do feel empowered to feel gay.
They do. I don't
They do feel empowered to feel trans.
What happened
to
you?
Why?
Jesus
you know
Christ.
why? Because I get so angry at this. Because then I had people come up to me. Oh well, he's not fucking that. Listen.
Yeah.
You are not even the part of this conversation. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
It's like I'm gonna stand up for this person. It's like what the
fuck?
fuck?
That's the thing I hate. I don't care if I have to refer to you as something. I'm fine with
when
that.
When you insult someone.
That's for me. Then if you, I believe that you genuinely believe that in a certain way. That when people like, I think made that mistake with like, yeah. I think Laura. I did that mistake with Laura once, and I've had legit like. Zoe and like a lot of people attacked me, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
No, I don't think you should be personally attacked if it's just a mistake. I don't think you should disrespect someone through it.
I think if you I'm sorry, but I think if you're gonna be, because I don't want to say it's a choice, right? That you call yourselves a they, them, or whatever, but it is a choice to ask people to call you that.
Yeah, no, it's no.
If you're gonna take that, you also gotta take the shit where it's like people are gonna fuck up.
No, for sure. No, I think that's a part of
that's
it.
A part of it.
But end of the day,
I love this point.
But end of the day, if they tell you that that's how they feel, but that is your choice.
Yeah.
Everyone has the right to tell people how they feel. what they feel that they are like, and how they will react if you treat them a
But I
certain way.
think no one has the
and-
right to tell you what you should or shouldn't say. That's my point.
No,
My point
No,
is the minute
listen,
it goes
listen.
to yeah,
You have a problem with interrupting, Zach.
yeah, I know.
You have a serious
I've
problem with
gotten
that.
that a lot before.
So, someone can tell you how they feel,
Mm.
but then it is completely your choice whether you want to respect it or not. So if you don't respect it, okay, if you choose to go against how they feel, and you still choose to, let's say, not call them how they prefer to be called, you need to be the way they should be prepared for people not to respect them. You need to be ready that because you are disrespecting this person consciously, whether you mean it or not, people are not going to like it, and people are going to say something to you. So that's a part you need to accept as well.
No, but
But my question
but that's not my point.
But my-
I'm
no, no,
interrupting
no,
you
no,
because
no,
my
with
point
me-
is
no, no,
is
no.
that I think it's just gone too far.
Without the
Where it
point-
becomes to the degree where the law is getting involved. I think it's become more of like a mainstream thing. I think it's become a thing where we're so afraid to hurt people based on what's happened with the past with
Okay, I
women
don't think
and
the law should be involved in.
that's that
With-
that
without-
with these
okay,
things.
or just even thinking. In my opinion, the thinking of you should or shouldn't say this is wrong.
Without- okay,
you
okay,
But,
okay.
but that is always a part of society. There's
But
always
wait.
things that, like, morally as society, there's always things that a society deems okay and things that
okay,
society doesn't
can
deem
and
okay.
can't.
Wait,
I'll
Like,
rephrase. I agree with you.
we're
Yeah.
we're here now, but like, if you look at some other countries, there's things we
Yeah.
can say here where in other countries people couldn't even imagine.
I agree
saying.
with you a lot.
So
yeah.
that comes down personally to
Yes,
if you live in
I
this kind
agree.
of society, then you can
Okay.
either adapt to what it is, or you can be completely against it. But that is gonna stress you the fuck out.
No,
That is
but
going to
no,
stress you
It's
out.
not about stressing. It's about standing up for what the fuck you believe in.
Yeah,
And
but
to a
but then
degree.
it depends on your surroundings. You know,
the,
if
the only thing that I will disagree with that on you is the fact, you know how you said, I agree. I'm actually liking what your point of views are. You never actually spoke to me this deeply into this conversation because I kind of always avoided it with you because I never really wanted to to like, I guess I don't know. I always was scared that like. I really see you as a close friend, and I never really wanted our friendship to like even loosen up from any bits. So that's why I never really talked about this personally
Really?
because I
Why?
have a different opinion than you, quite a bit.
so
bit
it's
different.
okay to disagree.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. I've always been like that. Anyways, that's not the point. The point where I disagree with that is it's like, if it was in like 20 years past that this shit has been going on, I would completely agree with you in every single point you have been saying. But this thing has been going on for less than a year. So it's like I can't change my vocabulary. Like the N-word, okay? That's a perfect example. That's a no notification.
It's been mainstream recently. It's not something that just came out of nowhere. It's been mainstream.
Trans people and shit have been around.
It's been mainstream recently.
Yes,
But
But-
they, them,
but
and shit,
they
like,
then
for 5
or
years
Z
when they've
sex,
become
or
big.
sex, whatever the fuck they're called.
I don't know, but the way I see it, it's like, if I can do it, why not? You know, if like,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that.
I
why
agree
why
with
why
you.
would I consciously disrespect someone
I
if I
get it.
don't need to?
No,
know,
no. That's what I mean.
Because
I
that is just steering the pot.
think
Because
we're
if you know
misconcepting
that this is going to cause some discomfort,
Yes,
why
but what
I-
about
I-
the other side?
I think
Why are
we're
you gonna
misconcepting there.
complain that much if you know that it's hard for people to like always call you by your pronoun? You gotta have.
okay, but it's one thing making an honest mistake, and it's another thing not giving a fuck.
Yes,
I'm
that's
not-
my point. That's my
But
point. But that's my point.
I'm not saying that
Yes, I'm
if
pretty
if
sure
if
we're
so if
agreeing,
someone
but
doesn't
we're
give if someone
disagreeing.
doesn't give a fuck, I
Yeah.
think that if that's how they think, that is completely
Just
okay.
let them go. Just say that
Exactly.
person doesn't give a
But-
fuck, and
But
that's it.
naturally, I'm also aware this person doesn't give a fuck. That's okay. That's the way he thinks. But I'm aware that this person is gonna get shit. Because
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
majority
it's a choice on both sides.
Because the majority around this person
Yeah.
don't think the same way as them. So they're going to get shit for it. And that's just a part of it. If you choose not to give a fuck, I think you need to be ready to have to deal with the shit that comes with it.
That's what I agree with 100%.
So-
yeah, yeah. But that's my point. Like, if you also choose to ask people to call you by a specific pronoun, you also choose that you're gonna get people fucking up. You're gonna get
They
people
do.
calling you a bro
They
when,
do.
when you want to be
They
called
do.
a she.
It happens. It
You're
happens.
gonna get people calling you a. Do you want to know what the next sentence out of his whatever mouth?
Call
So-
them
so I-
they, so you're
Yeah, it goes. I'm a she her, and I go. Oh, like I never experienced that until like last week, and I go like I'm like, I don't know what to say to that. I'm like okay, and then I get interrupted and go, I need to shave, and they literally have a goatee, and in that moment I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you don't know, you don't know.
Like I didn't care. I didn't say like go fucking shave, maybe look like a girl. Like in my head, I was thinking like,
I think-
sorry, but you don't like maybe don't maybe shave. Yeah, like you said. Like, sorry, like you can't. The hostility I got, I was like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, girl, like not sorry. I know you think I'm a dude, but like
no, I think in this situation, I think both sides need to kind of
that's
be
I
a
agree.
bit helpful
Caring
with
for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
agree.
don't think there's one side.
But that's my point. I was like,
think
I'm
we're-
sorry. I assumed, but like you literally just said I have to shave.
I
What am
need-
I supposed to think? Like it's just an assumption.
That is a very
Okay,
random
so I
thing
need
to say.
to,
To
I
be
need to
honest.
step in. I need to
He
step
goes, I gotta shave, and then he's like groping his fucking.
I need to like step into this for a second for all the people that there's probably one person that's thinking the exact same thing that I'm about to say. We're agreeing on basically the same things, but wait. We're having two different points. Nico is saying it from a pointless perspective of you knowing that they want to be called something, and me and you are saying from a point of perspective of someone that doesn't even fucking know who they are. Do you get it? So we're disagreeing on.
No,
a
but what if
level-
I accidentally?
I think it's not about they don't know they are, which can be the case. But I think it's more about they just feel different. That's just how they feel.
No, but they just look like a man, bro. There's a difference between someone that has boobs and someone that has a dick. okay?
Physically, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm not.
Come
lying.
on, that's my point.
No,
bro.
no, but
if
that's what I mean.
you want to
If
be
it's an-
called a
if
If I look
she,
at you,
but you
you're a
have, if you have a goatee, I don't care if I've known you for a month. I'm gonna slip up and say, "Yo, dude."
That
And then
is
you're like-
understandable. That is understandable.
So I gotta take the responsibility of if I respect you that much to say, I'm sorry.
If I felt a different way, if I felt like I wanted to be called something else, you know, if I felt like I wanted to be referred to as a girl, for example,
Yeah.
okay, and
I'm sorry, but that just.
no,
I'm sorry, but for
No, let's
you,
say,
that
let's
would
say.
just be hilarious.
hypothetically, okay,
Yes.
let's say tomorrow I wake up and I decide this how I feel. That's just how I feel. Whatever, like fucking no big deal. That's just how I feel. Let's say we're out and you say something, hey bro, or him, whatever. You know, you refer to me. I will tell you how I feel. You know, but that doesn't mean in my head that like okay, I told them that's it. They're not allowed to make mistakes anymore. That's it. No, because I would.
But don't you think we should put like
But Nico, you.
I
speech
think it would.
feelings? I think
No,
I think
this is
these
what I
days
mean. This is what I
feelings
mean.
is
But I
too-
think both sides need to be kind of
yes, I agree.
you need to help each other out. You know.
I agree, but also don't you think that it creates like a really fucking sensitive like society? Like, bro, sorry,
But there's nothing you can do to prevent that. We have become a very sensitive society.
yeah, but don't you why should we keep going? Like, when does it become too
Like,
far?
okay,
That's my point.
Firstly, like I think sensitivity. I think it's a more complex subject
Yes,
than
of
it
course.
seems.
But I mean it as,
because
like,
I think
Feeling driven, like
'Cause-
these days, almost the
I
number one
think-
priority
I think
is
sensitivity is
feelings.
very misconcepted, misunderstood.
Yeah, you're
'cause
right. You're right.
I don't
Yeah.
think being sensitive is a bad thing.
I'm
'cause-
sensitive in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Because a lot of people can be sensitive, but I think people mix it up with people who are sensitive and also overreact.
Feeling. I'm saying like
Because a
emotion
lot of
and
the a lot
feeling
of the times
prioritize.
a lot of the times people think when you say a sensitive person, you're talking about a sensitive person who overreacts to his sensitivity.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's genuine.
like personally, I'm a very sensitive person.
Same. Are
I'm-
you a Cancer?
Yes.
I don't know
And
if
I'm
any
a
of this
Pi-
shit is real, but like.
And I'm
Like,
a
I-
Pisces. I go great with both of you guys.
Oh yeah, water signs, all pussies in here. Let's start crying.
I'm very sensitive to the things around me.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Same,
just
yeah.
the things that people say, things that are happening, things that I think I'm sensitive to myself.
Yeah.
Very sensitive. But that doesn't mean that I overreact to everything, you know?
That's my point. Like, I think
It
as
just-
a society, we're mature enough to like consider someone else's feelings, empathize with them, and say, "Oh, I'm sorry that you feel this way," and to help them out and shit. But when does it go too far, where it's these people who are feeling sensitive and genuinely get hurt by say something you said, where they push it too far?
But Zach,
It's like
but if that's how you feel, if that's how they feel, what are you gonna do? What can you do?
bro,
about
it's like someone saying like,
what can you do about
you
it?
have to call me a unicorn.
But like, what can you do about it? Fucking lock them
Don't-
up? If that's
tell
how
them,
they, if
tell
that's,
them fuck off.
yeah, you can tell them to fuck up.
Yeah, but
you
these
need to deal
days
with
you
the
get shit
consequences.
if you tell them.
You
to
will get
fuck
shit,
off.
and you know
why? Why?
'Cause that's just
if
how
they're a
society
fucking,
is.
they're not a unicorn.
Huh? maybe.
That's a good moment. That's a good one. No, that was a good one. But that, like, when does it go? Where it's like you said, overreact. When is it like, okay, now you've gone too far. Like, I get that you're hurt, but you yelling at me for 10 minutes straight, stop. Like, I don't care anymore.
Stop it. Get some help.
But like, that's my point. If someone like you all right, here's the thing. Once it goes physical, it's completely wrong, right? Like, let's say you're really hurt by someone. No. I'm saying it as like, if someone gets hurt.
Did you feel like punching this person?
No. I'm saying like, if someone, no, not like physical, like hitting. I'm saying like throwing things. Like, if someone is hurt by something that someone said and they get a beer bottle and they fucking smash it, then you're like, whoa,
That
you're
is an overreaction.
But there is also overreaction when it comes to emotion and feelings, in my opinion. And I think that right now it's like, it's getting to that.
Yeah, but at the same time,
where we're putting the hurt people and their feelings over the other side. And I, like you said, I think you worded it perfectly, where it's like both sides should try to understand each other and communicate and care for each other. But I think that these days it's always caring about like how this person feels and emotion and all this stuff. And I think at certain points it doesn't justify your actions and what you did and what you said and whatever. That's my point.
In general, like, not talking about pronouns, I do think it's become too much of a thing where you have to be very careful of how other people are going to react.
I don't like to be censored.
In general, I do think that is a bit of an issue. But
in general, I'm not talking about pronouns at all right now.
Going back to that, fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Going back to that in general, pronouns.
Yeah, no, just because you think that a person shouldn't react like that, just because of your personal opinion, that person shouldn't react to what you're saying like that, that is not going to change at all their reaction. So you need to understand that. Just because you don't agree with how...
But that's my point. These days is being empowered, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you don't agree with how they're going to react, but you cannot change how they're going to react. But what you can change is whether you have to give them the reaction or not. You know they will react like that, so it's your choice.
Yes.
Whether you want to deal with the reaction or not. You cannot change the reaction.
No, 100%.
Your opinion about it cannot change anything.
Nico, I'm not trying to talk about like a specific situation where it's like you personally. I'm saying just globally, right now, like overall, don't you think that just people need to like let go of shit? People need to understand their feelings better. Like, I get from you... What the fuck was that?
That's a cat bottle.
Like I sense like that is like masculine thinking in a lot of ways.
It's I don't
care. It's true.
Okay, if you feel like that, that's okay. But
you see how understanding he is of certain shit, bro. If someone says something like that
in
to me,
line
like,
with his chakras, bro. I swear to God,
said something like that to me, I wouldn't snap, but I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, you fucking moron.
Wait, I said that is masculine. What do you mean?
Yes, and he disagrees. He hates the word masculine. So I
do you actually?
No, I don't.
No, but I don't remember.
No, because
he was like, I hate Andrew Tate. He's too like.
All right, let's get into Andrew Tate at the end. We just reached 2 hours.
We just reached 2 hours.
No,
can we take a short break?
Yeah, we can take one now.
All right, short break.
So, we took a little break back there. What we mentioned earlier, the last thing we mentioned was a little picture right there. The last thing we mentioned was masculinity, and I kind of want to get into that. And you reacted to that in like a way type thing. And the reason I want to talk about it, my main thoughts recently have been the problems that I've had. I'm someone who I stereotype people. I genuinely think that it's like a bad thing, and I haven't changed my views on a lot of things, but I think it's bad to think that, oh, okay, because this is a man, he thinks like this, or because this is a woman, she thinks like that. I do think that at the end of the day, it is more likely for a man to think a certain way and a woman to think a certain way because we're built for different things. But I think what I need to start doing and how I need to start thinking more is that there's masculine and there's feminine. I don't think that there's necessarily man or woman, because I think a woman can be extremely masculine and I think a man can be extremely feminine. So a lot of the times when I say like, yeah, but you're not a man, or that is masculine, or that's not what a woman should do, it's like those things are wrong to say and it should be changed into like, yeah, but that's more feminine or that's more masculine. But do you think that it's not even a way of thinking about that at all?
No. I think it's complex
Yeah, of
because
course.
like the way you said, like you mentioned, like no, you shouldn't be doing that. That is feminine. Or no, like why are you doing that? You're a man. That is feminine. Or
No, I
or
said I said
but
something you said
yeah.
is masculine.
yeah, but
Like your way of
I th-
thinking of like, yeah, but like who
I
can like
I
type
I
of
think
thing.
a lot of like behavior that in general people think is masculine
Mm.
or believe is
Yeah,
masculine
is actually
or people believe is feminine. I think a lot of it comes down to just what we believe is society and just the
yes.
things that have happened,
Like
you know.
so I hate the word
So
social
so
construct, but it's like
exactly no that's
that's
exactly
exactly what it is.
that
Yeah.
is what I mean. I think a lot of it does come down to just the way we have been raised,
It's
the way our parents have been raised, and
yes,
just what's
100%.
been bred into us and what's been drilled into our heads.
Yeah.
But I do think there are biological differences in general, obviously, and there are also different mental differences between
100%, yeah.
it's that's
Just
just
the way things are.
that is not something you can change. You know, there's a different range of chemicals going on in our head, different hormones. That is natural. You cannot change that.
There's a woman that could have more testosterone. than a
Exactly.
man,
I don't
100%.
think there's a certain way that a man should act in a situation, and I don't think there's a certain way a woman should act
That's
in a
my
situation.
point. That's my point.
But
I agree with you.
but
yeah.
I think that because someone is born as a man
Mm.
or someone is born as a woman, I
Mhm.
do think that can have an effect on the way they would act because there
Yes,
is a
I
difference.
agree.
But then at the same time, there's always exceptions. Right?
That's my point.
Just because just because the majority of these
My
people are like this
sister.
doesn't mean that there isn't gonna be some.
What's the phrase? Yeah, but like it's the thing to the exception. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh fuck it, whatever. My point is like, I agree with you on everything you said, but that's the thing. What a man or woman should or shouldn't do. But what about when it comes to masculinity and femininity?
What do you mean?
Where it's like, I think. Okay, let me try to word this and give a decent example. I think thinking logical is more masculine. I think thinking on emotion and feelings is more feminine. I think that people who are more feminine, men or women, are more emotionally intelligent. I think people who are more masculine are more logical thinkers, more interested in things, while like people who are more emotional thinkers and feelings are more interested in like people and reading books about people and how a person thinks, rather than people who are more logical and masculine rather think about like cars and building things and stuff like that. Not man or woman.
I think you're stretching it out a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I'm
You're
just
stre-
going
you're
into
stretch-
like
you're stretching-
details,
you're-
examples. Like, no,
I
of course
I think
not.
they're
But,
silly details, to be honest. I think you're stretching it out way.
no,
too
but
far
I
there.
think
I do think people who are more feminine and are gonna have different interests to people who are more masculine and different ways of dealing with situations
not something
emotionally.
like cars or whatever stuff.
Emotionally,
like that, but you know what I mean.
they're gonna have different ways of dealing with things. But I think if it comes to interests, like if someone is really feminine and they are into something that is
Yeah, no,
considered
of course.
masculine, I'm not
No,
gonna.
but
I'm not gonna.
There
be
are
like,
studies that show that like men are more interested in things and women are more interested in people. I'm not saying
But yeah,
shit,
this is going back to my other point that I think has more to do with social construct than actual
yeah,
than actual like what we are.
that's where I slightly disagree with you. I think it is social construct, but I also think it's nature. Because we're meant for different shit.
Physically, we have different kinds
If the
of
world
bodies.
was gonna end, things would go different. Like at the end of the day, when we go down to our natural state, and I hate saying that because I hate when people say that. And Simona has said this in the past, where he goes like, if you strip everything away, you'd still think like that. And I'm like, yeah, but we're above that. We're at a point in society where you don't have to think like that. But I also think that it's an important point where it's like, if you strip away all this shit, men would go into a masculine role. Most will go into the masculine role, and what we socially construct, whatever, think is a man, and women would go into a feminine role.
I think it's a lot more personal than just masculine and feminine. I think it's a lot more personal because there's a lot of.
No, I think like when it comes to survival.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like there is a difference for sure.
Yeah,
but
because
end of
the
day,
way your brain takes things in as a man and
end
a
of the
woman.
day,
Is like,
the way your brain takes things in, like just because you're a man doesn't mean that you're going to think like this. You know, just because
Don't you think it's
men
better
think
for a
more
man?
logically. I think that on a global scale,
Like-
I think more men on average, not all, maybe it's even like 70 to 30% on average think more logically rather than while women think more. But it's also I hate it because it's like that doesn't mean it's a bad or
I
good
think
thing.
statistically, I think that is correct. I think there have been studies done. I think there have been studies done it, and I think
Yes,
that
it
is right
is. It's
statistically.
literally psychologically.
That doesn't mean that you can look at any man and assume that this man is going to
That's
think
I
more
agree with
logically.
that.
You know,
I agree with that, and I think it's being above that where it's like he could be logical, he could be, but then that's the thing. I hate it because women or a lot of girls that I've talked to get offended or upset at that because they go like, "Oh, you think we can't think logically?" While it's not saying that at all. It just why can't it be? Yeah, I think you're right. But personally, I think women are smarter at emotions. I think I get
smarter at emotions.
nah.
What do you mean?
Okay, that's a dumb way to phrase. More emotionally intelligent. I think that on
What
average.
does that mean to be emotionally intelligent to you?
There have been moments like personally, like with my girlfriend, where I've like the parts where I'm like, oh, like there's differences where I'm like, you see, I'm like the more of the masculine role and she's more of the feminine role. Is like moments where I'm like, yeah, but just think like where I'm trying to say think logically, and where I make her feel like yeah, I should have thought it through more, in a logical sense, while she's made me feel for something like she told me, yeah, but do you understand how you made me feel? And I was thinking so logically where I completely ignored that.
But why do you feel the need to differentiate that in different to masculine and feminine? Why cannot you just say
I
that?
don't.
But why can't
when
you
you
why
think
can't
I'm
why
bringing it
can't
up
you
as
just
an
say
example.
that you're a more logical person than your girlfriend?
Because on average, men are just more logical. I think
but
women.
what does that? But your personal experience with your girlfriend has nothing to do with your girlfriend being a
No,
woman.
my personal experience with women as a whole and men as a whole.
Because let's say you were gay and you had a boyfriend. One of you, no.
Sorry, just the way I reacted.
I don't,
Like,
I don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
hypothetically, it's possible. Let's say you've got a boyfriend, okay, and one of you is going to be more logical than the other. We cannot think the exact same way. It's impossible, okay. So one of you is bound to be more logical. So
no, but sometimes it's by
but that doesn't mean that one is more masculine than the other. One might just simply be more logical than the other. What you think is masculine, the other person might have more traits of, or you might have more traits of.
Technically, in a gay relationship, there is always one that is more masculine than the other one.
How many gay relationships have you been in, Simon?
I don't like that point. Bro. I don't like that point. Where it's like, yeah, but I guess, but that doesn't mean you can't say anything about it.
Like, I do think that there are like more masculine ways of thinking.
No, but do you understand what I mean by that point?
Listen, I do think there are more masculine ways of thinking and more feminine ways of thinking, but at the same time, I think it's very personal. It comes down to each person.
Yeah, but I'm not saying
you can think on average, but statistically, if you want to get into statistics,
no, just based on your life experience, bro.
Yeah, but if you're going off of your life experience, then you can throw every statistic that you have read about online out of the window, because that has nothing to do with your life experience.
I never put in place things that I've read online. I've always used things that I've always like witnessed myself.
Yeah, but then the same way, things that you've witnessed yourself, you can,
that it
things
goes
that
both
you
ways.
witnessed yourself. If you want to start talking about real life everywhere in the world, you can throw your personal experience out the window as well, because that means nothing compared to the rest of the world.
You might feel this way,
the
but
same way the rest of the
China
world
has
can mean
no
nothing
idea
to
what
your
you're
personal
talking
experience.
Yeah, obviously.
It goes both ways.
Bro, at the end of the day,
that counted for everyone though.
Yeah, it's like if you go somewhere where it's a country where they literally
Which
are.
fine with. I'm fine with you having a personal experience and you telling me, oh no, listen, for example, I'm giving you a dumb example, don't listen to this carefully. Girls are better drivers than men. Me personally, from my personal experience, girls are better drivers than men.
See, from my personal experience, every time my dad would drive, I'd get scared. Every time my mom would drive, I'd feel safe.
Same thing with me.
See, but then at the same time, most of society thinks that men are better drivers than women.
See, that's why it
Well,
goes both ways. But
this
here's
is
the
what-
thing.
this-
Here's the thing.
Technically, it's statistically proven that men are more better drivers than females.
Yeah, but statistically, like if you want to get realistic, men have been driving for a lot longer than women.
That's
So there's always been, maybe now things are changing now, obviously, but there's always been a higher amount of men who are driving. You know,
which means
so
that women can never surpass men. That's exactly the right point.
I don't think. No, what I was trying to say is when people were doing these studies, if they've got a higher amount of men that they can interview, higher, and then
No,
there's no.
It's not even about. Okay, so I'm gonna mention one of the biggest things there is on the world, which is called Formula One. If anyone knew this, or if anyone ever looked into Formula One is a mixed sport. Formula One is for boys and girls, and in the whole history of Formula One, there has been 4 female drivers, and those 4 female drivers stayed in Formula One for 3 years. They are the top drivers on this earth. Formula One drivers are the top.
When it comes to sports like that, because when it comes to sports, it can get a bit tricky, because there's sports where I think there should be some kind of separation because of physical capability.
Thank you.
So
yes, exactly.
No, but that is just the reality which cannot be avoided. That is just how it is.
To me that guys under tension are better drivers than female, and you know this because you know how you can react under tension.
No, but I don't know. No, but I don't know that. But what I was saying is I'm talking about physical capability. No, I don't. I'm being honest here. But when it comes to something like Formula One, okay, I don't know too much about the sport, to be honest. So maybe there's things I don't know, that there are genuinely things that men are better at for whatever reason at driving than women. I don't know that, but from what I believe personally, I think the reason, like you said, there aren't many women who have been in the sport, or at least, I don't know, are there any for women? There has to be.
Right now, no.
There has to be, no?
0.
I don't know anything about that.
That are racing.
But I think that would also have a lot to do with the way, I think men have more opportunity to kind of grow up in these sports.
I disagree. Some parts, yeah. But I disagree strongly, because that's a really big misconception where it's like women aren't like the richest people in the world because they are oppressed. It's like,
but they have,
okay,
but they have,
because they have.
But you cannot avoid the fact that they have been oppressed.
Yeah, but
and it's only recently recently things started changing.
Yeah, but there are things that are also like all the men that construction. 1% of women work at construction.
Yeah, but this physical capability.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Like, you cannot change the fact.
They're gonna earn. They get paid more because they are physically more capable. They rather risk. No. They rather risk their lives for more money. That's a thing. Guy could work.
No, you cannot change the like if it comes.
Okay.
Listen. When it comes to
engineering,
I
has
think
nothing to do
I think a woman can be as good of an engineer that a man can be.
That's not my point. My point is there are more men that want to be engineers. Women, I just think it's the way we think. Most women, okay, are more attracted to jobs that kindergarten teacher.
Realistically,
less than 1% are men.
Reality-wise, if you look around, yes, that is probably how it is. But also, that can also be a social construct.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. That's the thing. It's a social construct, but then at the end of the day, when you go into our biology, a woman is made, literally is, you can't fucking deny it. It's made to birth a child. You're meant to birth and nurture a child. No. It's true. Why do you think it goes down to biology? Because we're physically stronger. We're not meant to birth children. We can't. So that, in my opinion, I always grew up thinking that a mom being closer to like a kid is a social construct. And in a way it is, but at the end of the day... a father could be closer to the child.
It's a bit difficult to react into your points because you go from like a really extreme to like a different thing and then different thing. So,
yeah.
But I'm gonna try to. When it comes to a mother being close to their child, it's a whole different thing because this mother has been holding it. It's not just
9 months in you.
She didn't just give birth. This baby was inside this woman for 9 months. Okay,
let's get into abortion.
So that is a different kind of attachment, you know. So that is a different kind of attachment.
That's my point.
You know?
You can never. Like, I don't think.
I'm not saying that a man cannot be attached or even more attached than a mother can be to the kid. I'm not saying that.
I think. But do you? Okay, answer this question then.
Say that?
What do you mean?
Why do you feel the necessity to pinpoint that a man can be as good as a woman to take care of a kid?
Because he mentioned he mentioned that women are more. He mentioned the nurturing side of women towards their children.
Yeah, I think like a child can feel more like comfortable emotionally with their father than they can their mom.
It's
That's
possible.
100%. But I think a man can never reach the level of feeling the way a woman can about her child because it's been a part of her, like you said. And given birth. That's a different type of love. Like you know what I mean?
I think that's stupid
Why?
because like maybe like
It's not the amount of love. It's the difference.
maybe the majority wise, like yeah, maybe that is true, but at
No,
the
at
same
the
time,
end of the day-
you need to understand that not all mothers feel the same way about their children.
Yes, but that's my
There,
point.
there are some mothers.
okay.
Listen, don't interrupt. There are some
But
mothers.
that's not my point.
There are some mothers who give birth to their kid, and then they
Don't give a shit.
about it,
Yeah,
you know.
there are mothers that abort their kids, and it's like they don't become mothers or whatever. That's not my point, though. My point is, a man can never, at the end of the day, can never understand what it's like to give birth to a child. They can never understand what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, but
So they can't-
That's the same as like saying that a woman can never understand what it's like to ejaculate. That's just
That's my. But no. But that's my point. Like they
what
can
is your
never
point?
understand to like a woman can be.
But giving birth is another thing to having a connection to a child. There are people who have no genetic relation to a kid, but they might have more of an attachment than the kid could have had with their real parents.
You're thinking too open. I know that's weird, but you're
What do you
thinking
mean I'm
too
thinking
open.
too open?
You're thinking too much like, yeah, but there could be. I'm not saying, yeah, there could be.
No,
I
but you're
agree with you.
No, I'm thinking could be because you're saying there never be, but there could be. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm
You're
saying at the end of the day, if you if this, let's switch it to the other side. Just to give you an example, what I'm trying to say is like this: the strongest woman could be stronger than 90% of men. The strongest man will be stronger than any woman and man. Any.
Yeah, but that's physical capability.
I think like that when it comes to connection with a child. Because the woman that has the connection the most with her child, or the father that has the connection most with their child emotionally can never it will always be below the woman. The woman that has the because it's
But how
more.
how do you know this?
It's not. It's
Because you're comparing it.
It's biology to me.
No, because you're comparing it to something that is out there. It's obvious. You cannot deny it because it's physical capabilities are there, but you don't know. You've never felt this kind of attachment to a child.
No. Yeah, but But then here's the thing. I know that I can never love my kid in the way of looking at him or her and thinking that came out of me. I can. I can think like, yes, this is me.
But what
this
does
is a
that
part
have
of my
to do with about caring about it?
It's not about. It's not.
Obviously, you're not going
It's
to
the
experience.
connection, not the care. The connection. I can never have the connection a woman has with her child. I think a motherly connection isn't. Let's not say it's stronger, but it can never. I can never. I can maybe have a closer connection,
I do
but I
think-
cannot have where you've been part of me for 9 months.
I think I wouldn't base it as a stronger or weaker connection. I think it's just a different kind of connection, man. I think you're thinking about it like
You're right. You're right about that.
different
But do
kind
you
of
understand what I mean?
I think
I can never I can never reach that.
I think your opinion is flawed because again, I don't think
It's not a strong opinion, and I haven't thought
I
much
don't
about
think it's
this,
a
but-
matter of feeling close or
I'm not. But that's my point. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
It's not about how.
you can
I don't think
never-
it's about how strong the connection can be or how weak the connection can be. It's just a different kind of connection.
Yeah, but it is different. That's my point.
It's different, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's better or worse.
Yes,
Doesn't
but
mean-
I
it doesn't-
can
it doesn't mean-
never.
Doesn't mean it's stronger. No, you will never have that connection
Yeah,
of pushing.
that's
it.
my point.
It's fucking stupid if you think you could.
Yeah, that's my point.
But that, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a stronger connection with a kid.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's Nico. I
So
know.
what
I've
are you
been saying
saying?
that the whole
What are you saying?
time. I'm saying I could never experience what a mother experiences with her child.
By pushing I mean, if you really need to like debate that, then that's kind of stupid because obviously you're not gonna experience.
I'm not debating that, but I am saying that that's just the same way as like with men
What do you mean?
about strength.
How?
It's biological, I think, in both.
No, like obviously you're not going to experience pushing a baby out of a vagina because you don't have a vagina.
It's not.
I mean, as far as I know,
bro.
but like,
Mangina.
but that doesn't mean that you can't have a stronger connection to a kid than a mother.
It's,
would
it's
have.
not about that. It's not about like the physical like experiencing it. I just think it's a different
No,
connection.
but the physical experience is what causes the connection.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but you're saying, yeah, I can never understand how it fucking feels to push out a baby. That's not my point. My point is I can never understand how it feels to look at your kid in the eyes and to think you lived inside of me. I could say no. This is how my exact point. My mom has looked me in the eyes and said you were like part of me, and I gave birth to you, and I could have died giving birth to you. My mom almost died giving birth to me. My dad can never look me in the eyes and think that. Never. That's my point.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's a different connection.
Yeah, but
guys, you're controversial each other so much right here.
No,
But
I feel like you're thinking
First,
it's a
you were
different
saying
connection
that-
because I gave birth.
But the reason it's a different connection is because the woman is the one giving birth to the kid. So it's because of the physical aspect of it that there's a different connection to it.
So
The same way if you
don't you think that that's biological? That's my argument. I think it's biological.
I think the change in connection is biological, yes, but not the strength in connection. The strength
On
in
average.
no, but on average it doesn't matter because it comes down to the parents, the specific parents. You cannot live life judging people by stats, judging life
I'm not
experience
saying
by
no,
statistics.
but that's not. I'm not judging anyone. I just think like, why the fuck do you think there's so much more fatherless homes like than there are like motherless? It's just that it's something where I'm trying to like think why, and it comes down to, in my opinion, biology. Why do you think there's more?
I think it can, if you want to, it gets a bit more complicated than that when it comes to laws, and I think research more.
You're
into
right.
stuff.
Yeah. No. I
There's a lot more
agree with
to-
you, but it is kind of also like
For
I don't
me,
know.
the final question is: do you? And I just want an answer.
Just close
I
the
don't
door.
really.
No, that's close. Never mind.
I don't really need like I can even have. I'll be fine with a black and white answer. Do you think yes or no a female is in majority a better a person that could take care of a child better than a man? Just
That's
no deviation.
part of it.
No deviation.
No, but how-
Blah, blah. No deviation. No nothing. Yes. Or
No.
no.
I disagree with you
That's it,
because
that's it.
biologically, I can't breastfeed my son.
Okay, but
So how can I take care of it to a level a woman can? I can't.
because taking care of your son isn't just breastfeeding it.
No, Nico.
There's a lot more to it.
No, that's not what I'm saying, bro.
Because a woman could breastfeed their kid, but if they don't raise it right,
Think
then the kid's
the
fucked either way.
most.
Whether they get
No, no,
breast
no.
milk or not, they're fucked.
Yes, I know that. It's like saying a girl, if she goes to the gym, she could work out and be stronger than me. I'm not saying
I
she
don't
can't.
understand why you keep comparing it to fitness.
Because it's biology. It's biology.
Sorry, but that's funny.
But a lot more comes
It's
into it.
biological, like physical. We have physical strength, right?
Yeah, but you're comparing strength to like the kind of trauma a person can inflict on a kid, the way they can raise their kid, the morals they teach
No,
them.
but I'm not saying
Because raising a kid isn't just
it's
about
not
being
about
able to
raising.
whip your
It's
tail
not
out
about
and give
like
it
the
milk.
connection of
Like,
like
there's
how
a lot
you
more to it.
feel about it's a woman can nurture. I don't want to say like more, but in a way, yeah. They can nurture a child more.
I don't agree with it.
At the end of the day, the woman that nurtures their child the most versus the man that nurtures their child the most, the woman will always nurture more because they can breastfeed the child. They can
But that is physical. There's so much more to it, Zach.
no, but just as basic as that. What can you? Do you understand what I mean?
Because just because a woman can breastfeed their kid doesn't mean they can nurture it to grow up as a happy person.
No, that's not. Bro, do you see what I mean? You're going to like that doesn't mean this can be. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that. I'm saying I cannot nurture if the man that can nurture their kid the best. This doesn't make sense because it's emotional because it's nurturing. You can't put stats.
There's no perfect way of raising a kid. First of all,
That's my point. It's all hypothetical, but I'm being serious. Like a man can never, at the end of can never nurture to the degree a woman can. I can't do you understand what I mean? I can nurture my kid more than 90% of women.
a man might not be able to breastfeed their kid, but I think a man could raise a kid better than another woman could. I'm not saying that.
It's
but
not about raising, bro.
what's it about?
It's about like
Nurturing is raising. What do you mean?
but not. It's not as simple as like It's
What
not
do you
like
mean?
just raising. It's that like physical capability. They're built like a woman is built to breastfeed her kid. I can't do that.
That comes down so personal to each individual.
Yes, but I'm not
Some
talking
women,
about
some women can't even breastfeed.
Yeah,
What about that?
but that's
What does that make them less of a, does that make them less of a
exception.
mother?
That's no.
But that's reality.
But it's not. It's not what
Question.
we're built like. It's like saying
but
some
that is-
guys
but that
don't
is
have
that-
arms.
but that is
yeah,
how-
no shit. Some guys don't have arms.
But that is how some people are built.
But the strongest man is stronger than anyone. That's my point. You can agree with that because there's biology
you're
and that's
comparing,
metric.
like completely different things.
Bro, because it's you're thinking like about
you're
like
talking-
how
you're-
well
you-
the child can come out. I'm not saying
Then what's
that.
the point of nurturing a kid if it's not about how well they can come out?
It's not about the point. It's about the capability.
Yeah, exactly. But the capability of doing what?
I cannot give certain things.
Like what?
Breastfeeding, literally.
Okay, yeah,
like
but that is physical. But so what? What else could you not give to a kid that up there?
umbilical cord. It's not fucking attached to me,
Umbilical cord comes off as soon as the kid's born. What does that have to do with anything?
bro. I can never experience giving birth to
Yeah,
my
no
son.
shit. But what does that have to do with nurturing you after the kid's
It's a
born?
different, like you said, it's a different type of connection. I
But
can
when it
never-
comes to looking after the kid, nurturing them, making them
I'm
feel
not. That's
cared
my
for,
point. That's my. You keep going to that. Don't go to that.
then what's the
That's not-
point?
The point is that
Giving birth to a
that
kid isn't nurturing
that's
a
the
kid.
biological difference of a woman. That's
What is the
point.
biological difference?
That they are built to nurture and we're built to, like
Okay, but no, listen. You're talking about nurturing,
Mm.
but giving birth isn't nurturing a kid. Nurturing comes after the kid's born. So what I'm trying to ask you, aside forget breastfeeding, that's just a physical thing. A kid, okay, breast milk is very good for a kid, but a kid can also get by with non-breast milk. Okay.
okay, that's exactly where I could
I-
just completely.
I'm not. No, listen. Let me.
Like, all right.
Don't interrupt me. Let me finish.
No, but
okay? Listen.
your
Zach,
point is.
I'm not saying breast
wrong,
milk. Breast
in
milk.
my opinion.
No, breast milk is better for kids, but there are kids who grew up without breast milk, and that doesn't mean that they are fucked. They are okay.
Mm.
So let's say we forget the physical capability of breastfeeding a kid. Okay.
But why?
You know, listen.
Why are you forgetting it?
Cause listen to me.
Okay.
You're talking about nurturing a kid.
Mm.
Forget breastfeeding. Aside from that, what else is the problem with nurturing that you couldn't do that a woman can only do?
Why are you putting it aside?
What do you mean?
Why are you putting
Because
it
there's a
aside?
lot more to nurturing a kid than just breastfeeding them. Because you might as
That's
well.
not my point.
Because then you can stop saying nurturing. You just think that a woman can breastfeed a kid while a man can't. That has nothing to do with nurturing a kid. A bit, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah, no,
That's a percentage of raising a kid. There's a lot more to
I'm
it.
not saying it's not, bro. I'm just saying I can't.
I know you can't.
That like
But that doesn't mean that you can't nurture a kid better than a woman could. What do you mean?
okay, but the if
So listen. Aside from breastfeeding, what else could a woman do better than you when it comes to nurturing a kid?
I don't want to get into it because it's
but
gonna say a lot of like things
But
that
you
I
get
don't
into it.
know. But I just think this is what I just genuinely think. If a woman gave birth and that child cut the umbilical cord given to the guy and the father and she dies, that kid on average, I'm not saying like whatever. I just think on average that kid is gonna have a harder life than if the father died and the mom had to take care of him. And here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. It's always gonna be like a better life or almost always gonna be a better life if both parents were there, right?
No, not always.
Okay, no, bro. I'm not.
This is what
saying,
I'm.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying no.
Mostly yes.
If you have no, literally,
Mostly,
physically, if you have both parents like there,
Yes,
it's just gonna
yes,
become.
for sure.
I think it's important,
It can
yeah.
make things easier. But in your point, when it comes to your view on how you think a woman can nurture a kid better than a man can, I think all I can pick up from your opinion or what you're willing to share at this point is simply just women can breastfeed, men can't. That's all I'm picking up on that.
For me, mostly.
But don't you think that that's?
For me, mostly is a kid when he's young does not need masculinity in his life, and a man can pretty much only give masculinity, at least a true man, in my opinion, especially a father figure to his child. And because the mother, in my opinion, is there to give the female figure and to give the child what he's supposed to think logically and emotionally, and then the father is supposed to tell him listen, you need to swing this way. or
That
you
that
need
is
to
the
throw
part
a
that
punch."
makes me.
And it's
Mhm.
I'm there, like my mother has always raised me technically more than my dad. I've always had in my whole life a more of a feminine way of looking at things. I've always had like, bro, most of my life I've always thought, oh, men are shit, men are absolute dog crash, females are they should have all the power, da da da. And then that's because I didn't have a father figure, or I did when I did. My father didn't really give a fuck, really, so it doesn't really matter for me. So I grew my father figure, I guess, idea or my masculinity idea from people I was hanging around with, from you, from Zach, from Blaze, from anyone. Okay, that who was around me. I took inspiration from all of you guys. That and only from your masculine side though, not your feminine, because I already had my feminine. That's what I think a female, and that's why I think when a man and when a man and a woman are together, it's always better than when obviously there's no mom or there's no dad. Obviously, in my opinion, that's always better. Always. The reason is because the child when he's young he needs the female side of him, and when he's older he needs the masculine side of him, because especially if it's a female, it's the opposite way around.
Like
That's
you,
how I look at it.
so you want
And
like
I'm really bad at it. Whatever.
speaking of influence on kids, if we go back to what we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier about how
Tell me.
some women can be more masculine than other men, some men can be more feminine than other men. This is what I mean. It's so individual to each experience. A mother can be a lot more masculine than the man in the. So this is what I mean.
It's a bad way of thinking on it. But if we can't sit here and think about every situation, because if we do this, we'll take
Do you?
millions of
That's what I'm
So
trying to say.
I'm trying to say is I always look, especially when I'm on a podcast, if I'm speaking to you alone and we're speaking about personal experience, this could go in different ways.
Yeah.
But because I'm talking about mostly majority in general,
Like when you
I
strip
personally
everything away.
and another question I wanted to ask you, genuinely pure, why then do most most mother get the authority to get their child than men? If they're
See,
not
that's the
properly
thing where
made.
I think it's very
even society
wrong in a
tells
lot
you
of
this.
ways.
That's a whole different thing.
It's not, because why does society think that females are better at raising kids then?
Because
If they're not, why would society have thought of this for the millions, if not trillions of years?
end of the day, unless there's a reason for unless there's a good reason that a woman is not able to raise their kid well,
Yeah.
okay,
Uh-huh.
I think the woman who had the kid inside them for 9 months, who went through the stress and the risk of pushing the kid out, does have more of a say. And what?
Right?
And,
But doesn't that give more
See,
authority?
that's my
No,
point.
no,
That's- you
no,
just-
no. Listen,
doesn't that have
listen,
to do
But
with-
but that
No,
doesn't mean that this woman is more fit to raise the kid.
Oh, bro.
This is why, like, sometimes in situations where the parents split or whatever and like they go to court, what is the man trying to do in most situations, in this case where they want the kid to be with them? If they believe that the mother is not fit to raise the kid, they try to prove the point.
Yeah.
You know, if the mother is less fit to raise the kid, hopefully the court will understand this and
Yep.
the kid goes to the father, you know, because the man is more fit to raise to the kid. But that doesn't mean, that's not because he's a man, she's a woman.
Yes.
That's just who
I
the
agree.
people are individually,
I agree.
you know.
But
But
don't
but
you-
end of the day, whether you like it or not, this woman did go through the physical shit.
yeah.
to-
So don't you think that goes into what I'm saying? Where it stop? I don't know. I apologize if I pushed it out to try to make you think that. But my point isn't that a woman has a stronger, like, more or better, like this or whatever. It's what you just said is a woman has more of a right over a say because she had that kid 9 months in her, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's
But
my point.
But I don't think that makes her more capable of raising a kid.
I don't really. That's
Because I think that's a whole.
raising a kid is a different thing.
But
I'm not saying about raising.
No, you were talking about nurturing. What is
Nurture, let's say, like, just
what
as
is
a baby.
What is the difference between nurturing and raising? Like, when you're raising a kid, you nurture the kid.
Yeah, but
Hopefully.
when it comes into raising, I think it
Hopefully.
comes in.
Like, nurturing is a big part of raising a kid.
Yeah, but I think if you, like, tell your son the values of, like, moral values, I kind of don't think that is necessarily nurturing.
Of course, it's nurturing.
Partly, but I don't think it's the nurturing.
Because you're telling them these morals. You're telling them these values which you believe in.
Yes, but
Because you think it's best for
like,
them, and you think it's going to
it is
benefit them.
nurturing in a
It's
way.
going to benefit. It is nurturing.
It
Essentially.
is, but it's also like teaching in a way. It's also like
Yeah, but why are you teaching
down-
them? Why are you teaching them?
because you care.
Exactly.
Which
You're nurturing them.
I know. But my point is that I'm talking about the nurturing like early on stages. Let's just like, do you understand? Like, if it's a baby, I think it's just evil or not evil. This is going way too far. But I just think it's, unless the woman is that unfit to raise the kid, it's just, she went 9 months, risked her life in ways to have that child. She has more of a say if like you said.
More of a say.
The
yeah,
man
for
can
sure.
never have that. That's
Yeah.
my point.
But that is completely different to you saying that a woman is more capable of nurturing a kid.
I
than a
didn't
man.
necessarily say
That is
they're-
exactly what you said.
Yes, physically they are. Physically they are. Yeah, physically they are.
Physically, they're capable of breastfeeding a kid.
Which is more nurturing.
But
You
that
can't
doesn't
debate
mean
me on
that just because a woman can breastfeed a kid doesn't mean they can be more nurturing.
Yes, but they can. But no,
They
but
can, but doesn't mean that they have to be.
that's not what I'm saying. Bro, I'm saying but they can and we can't.
Breastfeed,
I can never do that.
breastfeed yes.
That's a one up. That's a capability that I can never give.
yes,
Never.
But that doesn't mean you can't be more nurturing. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, what can a man give that a woman can't, nurturing wise? And don't get into like above 10. Don't get into like
Everything.
what? Breast like what?
Aside from breastfeeding, everything.
Like what can a man give to a like baby that a woman can't? Because I just said a woman can
Nothing.
breastfeed. Yeah, nothing. Do you understand my point? When you think of it like that,
Because there's so much.
Yes,
I don't
but
understand
no,
why
why-
breastfeeding is such a
why-
big deal to you.
it's not about
Because
breastfeeding.
that's the only.
It's about because that's the most like biological
because
thing
to
I
you-
can
to
get.
you,
Guys,
this-
you're
this
just
the
going
only-
in a loop.
Right? It's so stupid. This is the only
This is
difference
loop.
to you. I don't
Yes,
understand.
but I don't understand how you're not like. I think you're just contradicting
I am
yourself.
agreeing with you that a man cannot breastfeed a kid physically.
Yeah.
But
So-
I don't understand why that is such a big
No, but
part of raising. Like,
it just doesn't that make a woman more capable?
no,
Not overall.
No.
And
because a man can still give baby milk.
okay, if you remove all like no, but they can never give them breast milk. They can.
They could get breast milk.
Okay, but see, you're thinking too like modern.
But it's real. It's reality, though.
It is
We are-
real, but
this-
my point is, if you strip everything down, when it comes to biology, that's the point of the word biology. Strip everything away, we can't.
But where we are in society.
I know,
we live
but
in,
that's not. I know.
this is reality. What do you mean?
No, it's not about this is reality. It's also about biology. That's not my point. Biology is part of reality. It's
I just find you guys going from one of you is more about like today's age and on the other.
no,
is
it's
more
not
about
even that.
morals.
It's not even that. It's just I just don't like when
do you want to? Do you want
more
to start the conversation?
built about. It's just
Do you want to agree to disagree?
Yeah, I agree to disagree,
Okay.
I guess. But I just don't that's the thing. I keep pushing it because I think you agree with me and you just aren't labeling it because of modern whatever.
I like to think.
It's a product your thinking is a product of your environment and you're not
But
thinking
it
about what
is.
I'm trying to say.
It is a product of your environment.
Yeah,
do you
but that's my point. So what and I think I'm wrong in a lot of situations because I've used words like nurturing and it's not exactly what I'm trying to say. But yeah,
I still don't fully understand what you're trying to say.
I
to
know
be
that's
honest.
why I keep repeating myself
Right.
and I'm getting myself wrong, but whatever.
Fuck.
So, last question about the Andrew Tate one then. Someone said
Why-
I'm gonna ask him about this. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna see what he's gonna say.
I just want to ask, like, why do you? Again,
If you don't want to talk about it, I get it.
just say it. Just
I don't want to dig too deep into it. I'll be honest.
No, I just,
like.
I just genuinely.
I don't think I don't
think.
think it's a sensitive topic or anything, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, in fact,
it's,
it's not.
I just think it's stupid,
I just
not
want-
worth time.
What do you think about censorship?
Oh, okay. I guess there's a way of looking at it.
Like, do you think he should have been banned, or like Donald Trump should have been banned,
Let's not get into Trump. Jesus Christ, like
or just anyone should be banned?
I do understand why
For
Andrew.
expressing their opinion.
I do understand why Andrew Tate got banned because I think it can actually be harmful to people. The kind of mentality that he was breathing.
The Taliban has a Twitter.
Huh?
The head of the Taliban has a Twitter.
Okay, and
there are terrorists on Twitter.
Yes,
they can be harmful.
They can be. Are they?
Most likely.
They are terrorists.
No, but what are they posting?
I think porn is more harmful than anything.
Is it on your front page every day? Is it trying to change how you think? Is it on your front page every day? Is that all you see on the internet? The Taliban's Twitter?
Because they don't.
Well, why shouldn't they be banned and Andrew Tate should be? Andrew Tate should be because he's big.
But because Andrew Tate stuff was being pushed to the front. It was all you were seeing for a long time.
But do you think that's because of the people controlling it, or just because a lot of people?
That is because he wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Because he had the money for it and he was making it happen, which is why it became so harmful. I cannot say.
Scheme, yeah.
I cannot say that everything he was saying is wrong. That's impossible. You cannot say that about it. But that doesn't mean that just because he was saying some right things that he's right in everything. I think some of the things he was saying is fucked up. I don't want to get too into details, but I cannot do. I think some of the things he was saying is just plain out kind of disgusting, to be honest. And the thing is, when someone is saying things, if let's say that they have 10 things to have an opinion about, 10 things to say, if they have 6 things, 7 things which you already agree with, then the 3 things you either kind of don't agree with or you definitely don't agree with, just because he's already said so much that you like, so much that you agree with, you are actually very likely to kind of rethink about, shit, maybe this isn't so bad. This guy knows so much. This guy, yeah, I get him. So maybe this should be like this, you know? This is why I think he was very harmful, because he was saying,
I agree, yeah.
He was saying some right things, but some of the things he was saying is just like so old fashioned. Like, come on, move on, man. Come on.
One of my biggest points is like, I agree with some things he says, but I also think he's a hypocrite in a lot of ways. Like he says, I think just people should live as a traditional man, but he also made his money off of OnlyFans. Like what? Like pick one. That's how you know he's just being selfish about like he's profiting off of women.
For him personally, end of the day, it was just about making money, and he managed. You know,
that's my point. But you can't say like I'm just trying to push the agenda of like being a traditional man when you've also talked about
whether it was his intention or not, he was pushing an agenda. And it wasn't always the healthiest agenda. And I do think it was a bit harmful because there were genuinely people who looked up to him, took in the shit that he was saying.
And were delusional, yeah.
And that
especially younger people, yeah.
Exactly. That's when it becomes dangerous, and that is shaping people.
I agree.
And I think that can be harmful. And I think when because it was a power that he had, when there's a power like that, I do think you need to be a bit careful.
Okay. Why don't you think then porn should be banned off Twitter?
That's a whole other thing. I don't.
How's that a whole other thing? If you're saying kids can,
because you're comparing Andrew Tate to porn.
Yeah, because there is porn on Twitter.
There's porn everywhere.
No, let's say Twitter specifically.
I don't know. I cannot
because
talk about,
Andrew Tate being banned on these websites where kids can access.
Much. I don't use Twitter, Zach. So I cannot.
I'm giving as an example because Twitter is 18 plus, right?
One thing
so why shouldn't he been banned off Twitter?
I don't know. I don't use Twitter, so I don't know much about it. But I do think
me neither.
I do think the amount of on Instagram. I do think the amount of like porn being pushed on Instagram. That is an actual problem. I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think that discredits the problem that Andrew Tate was.
No, but
but if you want to talk about
it doesn't.
But if you want to talk about porn, I do think it's an actual issue, like that how much porn is being pushed on Instagram, especially like when it just comes up, you know.
I get
the amount of shit being pushed. I do think that is an issue. I think that is a problem.
Massive issue.
I can agree with you on that,
bro. Massive fucking issue. Sorry,
I don't think porn has to be an unhealthy thing, but it has become very unhealthy. No, and it can be for a lot of people.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily my argument. It's that these people that control who and who shouldn't be banned. Why do you think they ban Andrew Tate off Twitter, but not like porn website and terrorists and all these people? And why not?
I don't know, man.
Like that's where I just think it's wrong. If it's something of like on YouTube,
why?
Because
you think it's
because to me the stuff that on Twitter that's like porn is more harmful, 10 times more harmful than Andrew Tate.
Do you think some of Andrew Tate's content was harmful Do you
Not
think?
nearly as harmful as some of the
Okay,
pornography.
okay.
I personally think that a
let's-
single piece of Andrew Tate's content was harmful unless you were a fucking idiot that didn't even know how to control.
But there are a lot of idiots around.
Thank you, but that's today's
But-
society.
and-
That's
and-
not
but,
his
but
fault.
you can't always. And
So
some
you
kids.
should ban him because there's a
No,
lot of
one
idiots
second,
around.
One second. There's kids. Kids, they're natural idiots. Their brain, no, their brains have not developed.
Perfect. No,
So
that's the
kids
whole point.
soak up. They are sponges for information. If that is what they're being fed, that is what they're taking in. So
Perfect.
you can
as a person-
that is a fact you cannot change. But going back, but let's forget about comparison for a sec. I know it's not easy, but forget about comparison. Do you think some of Tate's like content could have been harmful to the younger generation?
I think
Absolutely
it literally
Yes?
was. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But-
okay. No. One second.
Yep.
You think it is harmful that the Taliban has some kind of has a voice on social media? Do you think that's harmful?
Yeah.
Okay, and you think it's harmful the amount of porn that's being pushed on
Extremely.
social
Yeah.
media? Okay, I agree with you on all of that, but I don't think that just because two of the things have not been banned, that one thing shouldn't be banned. If anything, that is a slight win. Okay, we've got one thing out the way. Why don't we try to focus on another problem now?
Okay, then
No,
let's-
but that's my
let's
point.
Eliminate every.
I don't.
fucking
wait.
It might not be fair on Andrew Tate. No, it's
No,
not.
but
It's
that's
not
my
fair on
point.
him.
You're
But I don't
here-
give a fuck about him.
You're like that's my
That is
point.
an issue out of the
There,
way.
why do you think that? I'm saying why do you think? Fuck. I'm saying why do you think that? Why do you think Twitter hasn't thought or cared once about porno? There are literal.
When it comes to porn, it's definitely a money thing, and the amount of content the views that it can generate, that is definitely what it's about.
And here's the thing. To me,
talking about porn specifically, you need to it hits the dopamine receptors, so it naturally keeps you going back for more.
literally.
When you see it, you want it. You
do you
go back for
understand
more.
what I mean? In a way, they're selling this. I like to call it like a pixelated drug.
No, for sure.
To literal
That is
children.
that is a
And
whole,
they
that is
don't
a whole
want
issue.
you. They don't want you to care about that being banned, but they want you to care about Andrew Tate being banned.
For
That's
sure.
what I think is fucked up. Why are people arguing about what like? No, he should have been banned, and it's a good thing that he's banned, and no one is talking about that.
No,
That's what I think it's fucked up that we care about some guy that a lot of the things that he said were stupid. Yeah, he did some harm to younger audiences and maybe made their thinking worse and maybe he said things and whatever. But no one is talking about the epidemic of fucking like kids under the age of 12 like watching these things. Why do you think that is? Because they're gonna profit off porn. The guys at the top, they're profiting off that shit. It's like you said, money, and they ignore you. They don't care about you.
These are the points.
So why do you think they ban Tate? Not because they care about you. I don't think it's because they care about you. I don't.
Well, why do you think they banned Tate then?
Because a lot of people were complaining. A lot of people hated him.
That's
a lot of people were
exactly-
reporting him, and he was a liability. He was a liability.
Okay,
He was
but
getting his
if
money.
if there's two wrongs, two issues, and one is out of the way, why is that bad?
But
There are
no,
actually, there are actually
this is
four wrongs in my
this
opinion.
is the
No,
thing.
I'm not saying there's only two issues online.
This is the thing where it's getting. I'm not saying Andrew Tate shouldn't have been banned. I'm just saying, don't you think that it's a bit weird that he was banned, but no one is talking about pornography? Let's say
Yes. No. I'll stop. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, it is weird. Doesn't mean it's right, but I don't think that changes the fact that he should have been banned. I think a lot.
it does.
I think a lot of people kind of misdirect their attention here, because I think they shouldn't focus so much on he shouldn't be banned because they're not banned. I think he's banned.
No,
Let's
no.
focus on
That's
this
not
now.
what I'm
Let's
saying.
sort this out.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's literally not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why? Why do you think he's banned and no one is talking? No one at the top cares at all about banning porn from fucking banning. There are like I don't. There's fucking crazy shit on Twitter. Everything is allowed. Everything is allowed there, but they're gonna ban Tate. Why do you think? I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm saying
I mean,
why?
there's obviously an agenda, but like
I don't think it's because they care about you, and that's my point. My point is because if there's porn there, they don't care about you.
I don't think it's because they care about you either. But what I do know is that he was harmful. So
See, that's where I think it's wrong. Everyone's saying, no, he should have been banned because he was harmful. That's not why he was banned. That's where people are getting it wrong.
But why does it matter why he was banned? Because if it's better that he's banned, why does it matter what their motives were?
The only thing I hate
Because-
is like
because-
the
because there's
praising on
so
someone's
much-
downfall. That's what I hate. That's what I hate. Praising on someone's downfall. It's insanely, ridiculously stupid.
The amount of shit, the amount of people,
The amount of shit I've heard from an LGBTQ person that I wanted to smack at their face is insane, but I couldn't. You know why? If I hit them or I touch them, 50 fucking people would be on me. Not only Twitter, I'd be on fucking Instagram, I'd be everywhere. I'd be on the Headfront News. You want to be on Headfront News, you go in middle of Valletta. I've seen a person do this. She stood up on the fucking fountain and she said, I'm a bird. I wanted to grab a shotgun and say, you're a bird? Okay, I'll shoot you then. You're a bird? You want to identify as a bird? Bro, we hunt birds here.
Yeah, but I think that's...
I'm sorry, but the amount of... Have you ever heard the video of the girl going like, Andrew say, I'll fuck you in the ass. If a guy said that, do you have any fucking clue what he would go through?
That's my
I'm
point.
sorry, but
Don't
I
you
hate
think that
these
there's the
people.
agenda that they're trying to push and you're not realizing because you're like, yeah, but he should have been banned. That's what they want you to think. But you're not thinking once
Don't get me
at
wrong.
all.
Yes, if you're
no one's gonna
stupid.
do anything about that.
Listen,
If you're stupid,
I just think the shit that he was spreading was harmful.
Yes,
to people.
but I'm saying it's not
He
about
agrees
him.
with you.
It's about
I
people
can.
being banned. I'm saying it's fucked up that these people are being banned, and you're thinking it's because they care about you,
I never said it's because
or
they care
people
about
are
me.
thinking it's then. But so why do you think it's right, or why do you think it's okay?
Because I don't give a fuck why they did it. I'm just happy I don't have to see his face every day.
So, but why does that? Okay, but I'm saying
And I'm happy because my little sisters don't have to see his face every day when they start going to social media.
but they could.
I don't care why they did it because I've got better shit to worry about. Why should I care why they do? I can speculate all day if I want, but I just don't give a fuck. But if he's in my face every day and I don't like the shit that I'm saying, that is an issue.
If he's banned is better for you, yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
Maybe it's selfish, but I don't care why they did it. I don't like. There's things I can't control. There's things I can control, things I cannot control. I cannot control why these corporations make the decisions they make. So I refuse to stress.
It's not about control.
I refuse to stress about the reasons they make their decisions on. I refuse. I've got better shit to worry about.
I think that's a good
I've
way
got
of
better
thinking.
shit to worry about. I do not want to speculate on why, what, if unless it's affecting me personally, to the point where it's stopping me from achieving what I want to achieve. I don't give a fuck. He was bothering me. I was not happy to see this guy's face every day. He was saying stupid shit every day. I would not want my little sisters to see this guy's face every day, listen to the shit that he has to say. And I would not want guys who grew up listening to this guy, adapted all of his morals, which is very realistic, which is very possible. Fucking my little sisters growing up with these kind of boys. I would not want that. At the same time, so for me, him being gone, I don't care why he is gone. You know, because that is not my department. I don't know why. I don't know. But if it's less of a problem for me, so I'm happy.
So you would
But,
rather...
okay, I agree with you, but then I also think that Cardi B should be banned.
Okay.
That's the thing. Why do you think she isn't?
I don't give a fuck. She doesn't affect me personally. I don't know why you want Cardi B.
But
to be
she
banned.
does
Because I
affect
don't
your
want my
sisters.
fucking-
Wait. She does affect your sisters. And she does affect your sisters'
You don't know.
generation.
Okay.
You just don't
These
know
are the
this.
blind things.
But
you're
you
not
don't see
seeing.
Cardi B on your screen every single day.
I
Come on.
do.
Bro, do you know? I've heard 13-year-old girls. They know the lyrics to Cardi B songs. Do you know what the fuck?
Personally, it's never been an issue to me, so I cannot talk on that.
Yeah, she drugged a man and took all his money, and she's just fine.
Oh no, and that stuff. Yeah, actually, I do know about it. That stuff is messed up.
And people
I love
tell
his face
people
when he
say
said
she's
no,
the
no,
best female rapper there is. She's the
No, it does actually bother me why that's never been more of a topic.
Do you
of
understand
discussion
what I
with
mean?
me. Yeah, no.
And I'm not saying. And
But what I'm trying to say,
why aren't these things getting attention, bro?
But what I'm trying to say is that is a whole separate issue on its own, and I refuse to let the other issues not being fixed try to make me think bad about an issue that has been fixed for me.
No, it's that, in my opinion, those things aren't being talked about when they should be, and they're more important. It's prioritizing.
But that's your opinion. Your priorities are different to other people's
disagree?
priorities, huh?
Do you think banning Andrew Tate should be above banning pornography or like these things or
I don't.
whatever?
That's very personal because Andrew Tate can be more of a problem to you than porn can be. Porn can be more of a problem to me than Andrew Tate can be.
I
So,
agree with that.
in a
It's-
way.
you know?
For me,
In a
LGBTQ
way.
people are more of a problem.
So,
to me.
I don't know.
They are. I'm sorry, but I don't want to go. I'm lucky I lived in a generation where they're decently.
Like I
fucked
said, I didn't want to dig too much into this because I just don't give
It's
that
not,
much
I'm
of a
not
fuck.
talking even about him. I'm just talking about
I honestly, I don't care about why he was banned. I'm personally glad I don't have to see his face.
it's not why he was banned. It's why these things aren't being banned.
But for me, that has nothing to do with Andrew Tate being banned.
To me, it does. 100%.
I know what he means. I know what he means. He got.
That is a
He-
whole.
he-
I don't connect things that don't have connection.
Yeah, he got a thing that he didn't like out of the way, so it's
Yeah.
better for
Yeah,
him.
no,
It's not,
I
get
think
it.
that's good.
I don't want to
100%, bro.
mix these issues up.
Yeah.
It's
just
agree
when
with
I
that
see it.
completely. Like
it's
if I
just-
see it from my point of view, if like I don't know who's someone that I actually like, I hate like I don't. Okay, I guess Cardi B, but there are a lot. There's like the Kim Kardashians. I hate all of them. I'm sorry, but they're idiots. All of these people, like if they were banned, I would understand your point. Who gives a fuck why Cardi B is unbanned? At least one of them is. So I get your point when it comes to this, so I understand to get it. But yeah. Anyways. Fucking Christ. This has been the longest episode we've had. Anything else, guys? Do you guys want to start debating again? I'll just be here.
I think we agree, but it's like the littlest things that like make us repeat ourselves or make me repeat myself.
I just think we have a very different way of approaching issues and the way we connect issues.
Yeah, I don't know.
I approach issues.
It depends, I guess.
I've failed to understand. And doesn't matter how much. I don't know. I fail to understand why you choose to connect issues with issues that have nothing to do with each other.
I'm not connecting.
You
I'm
are.
saying I am because.
But you are. So you say you're not, but you are.
But I'm not connecting for the sake of comparing to defend anyone.
But you're still connecting.
For what reason, you think?
I don't know. That's what I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's the thing. I'm connecting them because I'm saying these people at the top don't give like they aren't caring about like
And
I just don't think that that's right. When I see
it's
Andrew
not right.
Tate,
It's not right. But what are you gonna do to change it?
it's not a. I'm not.
I'm gonna
even-
get as rich as them. I'm gonna buy their own companies, and then I'm.
What are you gonna do to change it? There's nothing you can do.
By the way, guys,
But
I never
that's
understood.
I hate think why think like that.
I never
It's like
understood.
saying you complaining about Andrew Tate not being banned. What are you gonna do?
There was nothing I could do. So
Did you do anything? Like,
I was not out. What, you
say-
think I was out on a fucking road protesting every day
No,
trying to
I-
get this guy banned?
that's the thing. I
No,
think that
but he
that's
got
all-
banned and I'm happy. What? So what?
That's the thing, but I just think it's not you personally. I'm saying like in general, these people saying that it's a good thing that he was banned and they're debating if he should or shouldn't have been. I think the real issue is what the fuck? Why was he banned before all these other things?
But-
And why aren't these things getting attention?
I
Guys,
refuse to
you-
give a shit.
I do because it's controlling things and it's going to control the generation of
Yeah,
my
but,
children.
but there's nothing I can do to change that. So,
Well, I like to think that I rather just
I like to live inside a bubble. Let's say, things I can control, I'll do my best to. Things I can't, if I don't need to stress about that, I'm not going to.
But it's not about stressing; it's about thinking about it.
But if you're thinking about something that's bothering you, you're stressing about it.
Yeah, but that's my point. I don't want to be on Twitter at all now.
Don't be.
I'm,
What's
like,
wrong with that?
I'm not.
What's wrong with that? Don't be.
Yeah, but that's my point. You know.
So don't be. If you don't like Twitter, just don't be on it, man. What's wrong with
Yeah,
that?
and
There's
I-
nothing wrong with that.
But I know. I'm not saying it's a right or wrong. I'm saying like I'm just talking about it just to say. Like to me, when I saw Andrew Tate's ban, I didn't think like, oh, he shouldn't have been banned. I was like, yeah, makes sense. I was like, yeah, makes sense. Literally, of course he was. I predicted it. It was like obvious. And then I was like, that's kind of fucked up because like I've been for years thinking how evil porn is and how like all these things are awful, and it's just disappointing to see.
But that's because you want other things to be done, not because you don't agree with what's been done.
Yeah, That's what I'm
But
saying. Yeah,
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be happy about this.
I don't care about it.
Exactly.
I love him. I love that he doesn't give a fuck.
I think
That's the whole point.
But that doesn't mean that I think his way of thinking is wrong. I just don't agree with it. I don't. That's just who he is. I think it's okay for him to think like that.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. So there's this like really big thing which is called "don't say sorry when you don't need to say sorry." You know the amount of people that tell me sorry.
Oh no, I know.
Yes,
That bothers me
that's
quite a bit.
That's a
Actually,
really big fuckboy thing. To not say sorry when you don't need to.
fuck
You
with thing?
do, yes. It's a thing because it's a thing of like it means you don't give because most people just do it because like you said, people today they're quite emotionally like. So it's like I wish we had a camera right
it
now.
reminds me of his mom.
Like legit. So it's like when you do that, it shows. I don't know where I want to get to this. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for listening, viewing, and subscribing to Impulsive. We're keeping that in for sure. We're keeping that in. We're keeping that in. Listening way too much to Impulsive.
He literally just said that.
So thank you for listening, viewing, and subscribing, and liking, and commenting, and everything on the Head to Head podcast. You can go find Nico on your
We'll
socials.
link down your Instagram.
Sure, you can link my Instagram
Yes,
if you
what's
want.
your Instagram?
It's Genie0.
I wanted to ask, what's that from? Why?
It was just a nickname that was given to me a few years ago.
Perfect. Finish. Stop.
No, I actually want to like end this off by saying, in my opinion, this was my favorite one, or one of my favorite podcasts for sure. Mainly because it was like us all talking to each other in a lot of ways. Especially me and you clashed a lot, and I think what you said is perfect. That, and I have something where I admire of yours, where it's like you rather not think about it because you can't control it, and that's something like I have. People I look
it's
up
not
to.
not thinking about it. It's just
No, stressing over
exactly.
it.
It's
Exactly
different.
how you phrased it.
I'm
Stressing
aware.
over it.
I'm aware, but it's like, what the fuck
Yeah.
am I gonna do?
That's something I do. I get angry at these things, and I don't put emotion into it, and I don't put any energy into it. But I do spend time like thinking about it.
I fucking put emotions into it. I don't know if you saw me when I was speaking about LGBTQ.
Yeah, because it's like with the government. I used to tell them like when we used to disagree about it, I used to be like
I just didn't
not
know
caring,
shit about it.
but I think it's good to care and to realize that know that you're a pawn, but and if you are gonna do something about it, do something about it. But I don't think it's good to just not think at all about it. But then I also don't think it's good to stress about it.
Guys,
and I think that's a
this
good
is
thing you
gonna-
have is a great balance in your life where you care about certain things, but you're not gonna push it to the point where you're gonna stress and waste energy. And I respect that a lot about you.
I appreciate that.
Okay, perfect. So, Nico, do you have a final message to the world? Any final words? Not that you're gonna die,
To
but
the
like,
impulsive listeners.
No, like this stretched out into like a lot of shit I was not expecting. Like,
Don't worry, don't
But-
worry.
3 hours.
but no, I don't have much to say. I just came here to talk to you guys. To be honest,
Good.
good talk.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Please go listen on Spotify, iTunes. No, oops. SoundCloud,
Scrap that.
SoundCloud, and YouTube, and yeah. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yo, if you guys want to order a USB stick with a podcast on it, just email us and we'll send it to you.
Yes. We'll send you the whole podcast, but you have to keep it confidential.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a head-to-head plus, and it's gonna be like all the yeah. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, and peace out.